Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. Alrighty, it is Monday, January 3rd, 2022. License 8NLG374. Waisaco, license plate 4MM1529. While they're driving east on Hope Boulevard, those squeaky brakes are a means of audible activity while they touch with directed light. 5TGL612, 7BTS260. 5DZF213. And I already showed you on video, first of all, the fake sun all before 8:30 a.m. And what am I referencing? I'm referencing not only American Inn, where I remain. I showed you at 8:48 a.m. the state's fake sun at that property over American Inn, directed light directly on that window of room 217 where I stayed. January 1st, where I remain at 630 North Fern at 8:30 in the morning. 5UMN014, YONOSE. 8NDB625, 7PDX773, where I remain at 630 North Fern on the 1st of this year. You have what is the state's fake sun as I'm at 630 North Fern. All right, and so while I am showing you 7T53512, what is the fake sun that is over, first of all, the Stater Brothers before 8:30 a.m. That's a departure. That is showing what is the impossibility of that being the sun that is over me, directly over 630 North Fern at that time in the morning. And before 8:30 in the morning, how is that the sun that's present at 8:30 in the morning over that venue, specifically over me, precisely over me. And then when I leave from that location at before 8:30 in the morning, that is going to Stater Brothers this morning, that is going to the B&G Plaza where I am this morning, and you have what is the state's fake sun, and I show you before 8:30 and down to the minute of 8:30 this video that I capture while I am facing the exact opposite direction. Impossible to coexist. My back is to the direction of where the state's fake sun is while it is hovering over 630 North Fern, as I show you while I'm in the vehicle at that location on January 1st. This is also the exact opposite in impossibility with regard to my back being facing toward the direction as I'm facing south with the camera showing you the fake sun over the B&G Plaza, which, by the way, was already documented before the state engaged in stalking me and maintaining that light at the American Inn. All right, 8LTZ 382. 8TLZ 382. And so I'm showing you what is the municipality, the city of Ontario. This is an old white man with a beard. And I'm sorry, with a mustache, and he is using the municipality vehicle to, first of all, touch with directed light that appears on the sidewalk while the fake sun is facing south as I'm in that parking lot. He is crossing path, pulling up into the bus stop stall to engage in what is harassment, to engage in what is sexually molesting me with that which is not even sunlight under what is not the sun. That, again, before 8:30 in the morning where I am on the 1st, showing you what is the fake sun over 630 North Fern, all right, which is in the exact opposite location of where it is over the B&G Plaza. And that's what I capture on video. Omnitrans, which is driving in the traffic lane, not making a stop, as it customarily does in order to stalk with audible activity, in order to molest me with directed light, doing so also while I'm positioned at the bus stop, crosses path in that video under that fake sun, that is also while they are in traffic, in the traffic lane, touching with directed light that's spanning over to touch me while they're also harassing it, intentionally not stopping at the bus stop, okay? That is their method of engaging in sexual violence and harassment and targeting. 7BXP900. And I'm also showing you what is UPS that is hovering over the BNG Plaza, making a U-turn in the sky. That's a demon that is pacing around in the sky, around in what is engineered light under the fake sun that is not mutually over the house that is a venue, 630 North Fern, over the car position at 8:30 in the morning, as I showed you on the 1st of 2022, and also over the BNG Plaza, okay? And that's exactly what I continue to point out while I'm at those two positions, which are in no way comparable and do not coexist. You're talking about what is, while I am facing south and my back is to what would be 630 North Fern, which is at the intersection of G Street and Fern Avenue. You're talking about G Street, which runs east and west, and Euclid Avenue, which you have to go north of Euclid as far as traveling in a vehicle. You have to go, first of all, west on Holt Boulevard, north of Euclid, and then east on G Street. So you're talking about that, which is essentially northwest, and my back is to that direction, all right? And so that's what is revealing about the municipality. Also the fact that all of those demons, those commercial actors, they're demons. These are companies engaging in demonic activity, terrorizing American citizens. That's what I documented on video under the fake sun, while they are molesting with directed light. UPS is molesting, yes. They are engaging in the elements of monitoring, crossing path, and creating audible activity, using an airplane to do so, which is terrorizing in and of itself, while I am being molested with directed light under the fake sun. You are indeed a sex offender while you are engaging in that criminal system with the sex offender who is molesting my person with that which is unnatural. That's not the sun, and that is also not sunlight covering all the grounds, covering me, and also occurring while demons cross path in municipality vehicles and commercial vehicles and in their personal vehicles. License BM37X53, and that is what I captured on video coming from 621 North Fern, which is across the street from 630 North Fern, which I showed the state's fake sun is advanced beyond 630 North Fern because I'm not positioned next to 630 North Fern. All right, 630 North Fern has been an ongoing example because that's where I have remained in front of that venue. 630 North Fern is a demon-possessed stalker in relevant position, living in what is a facilitating venue, just like every other demon on that street. So that's why I can park wherever, and the state is going to place its fake sun relative to where I am. They're all monitoring me. Okay, that's what directed light shows, and that's what the fake sun shows as well. And that was illustrated this morning in video while I'm at 621 North Fern, which is directly across the street from 630 North Fern. 8DBN567. It is currently 8:37 a.m. And this is the P.O.C. Alrighty, license plate 6NPW544. 6UME140, 8WUZ858, 61493Z1. Already read those. 7STM212, 8JZB456, 7VCG748, 6STL965, BD02T65, that's paper, 7ELZ163, 8SQZ568, 4PDN299, 4UTK514, and it's 8:40 a.m. This is inside of the parking lot of the BNG Plaza where their vehicles are parked in engineered light. That's why you have what is the shadow of their vehicles, which is projected at a distance, and they have what is the shadow of their wheels, for example. Not the shadow, excuse me, light in the shape of their wheels, as though light is creating the very shape of your vehicle and your wheels, for example. You've seen this before. That's engineered light, and it is literally providing a tutorial to you as to how the government stalks with light, and it's engineered light. That's not normal light. That's not sunlight. 8P12439, 7VOS809, and also understand that's terrorism while the government does that. 8NNR029, and the government is the people. 8R15791, because they're demons that are stalking and monitoring. They're targeting an American citizen together. They're in the position of the government. 6UWB272, which has engaged in what is criminal conduct with the people, and it is stripped of all legitimacy and authority under the actual law. 8FEK468, 8MAF571. 8SOG638, 7JJM835, 8AWC381, 8KVY629. It is, by the way, 8:42 a.m. XIG828. These are license plates of third parties that are parked in relevant position on transit. That's a large truck you hear stalking in the path. I'll get that demon's license plate. in relevant position at transit. San Bernardino County is crossing path on transit as well, driving down the back street in order to cross path where the state is moving its fake SEN. That's San Bernardino County. Let's see, that's Unistar Foods Incorporated at what is Andy's Burgers. Okay, heavily documented. They're not doing nothing but stalking and monitoring. They're demons that engage in the P.O.C, outwardly engaging in some sort of transaction as vendors at a facilitating venue, engaging in facilitating activity, all under the fake SEN and in directed light, okay? That's why you're looking at a drive-through covered with directed light while they're ordering burgers. They're demons. All right, their focus is me. That's why that environment, which is absolutely abnormal, it's a cartoon environment while psychopaths are stalking somebody else. 7YKA616, 8RPG764, 8VNP589, NYB4886, that's Texas. 98A5C74, that is Arizona. YMD020, that is very expired. And it says Alberta on it. That's a different look at my plate. It looks out of state. YMD020, and it says 2004 on it. It looks exceedingly outdated. CFT 9084. It also says Alberta. It's a white license plate with red lettering. Wild Rose County. That's what it says. 40020V2. 4XEG301. And I'm in the parking lot of Center Ice Arena, where the state's fake SEN is over this venue now. No longer over the B&G Plaza. PRE654, Wild Rose County. All right, out of state. You got a whole bunch of minions at the ice skating rink from Wild Rose County. License 36103F3. Alrighty, and it is, again, 8:44 a.m. NWM373, CA09F38, that is paper, 8YTH301, that is also Union Pacific, that's a means of audible activity in the path. All right, just playing the sound of a train that is not even actually on the track either. The state's just playing playing noise in the atmosphere, okay? That's the environment. It's audible activity while engineered light molests, okay? 7KUD373. But Union Pacific shall be prosecuted for it. Union Pacific directly engaged in the P.O.C. Amtrak directly engaged in the P.O.C. Metrolink directly engaged in the P.O.C. These third parties are not ignorant. Where the state is using you in whatever form as the guise of activity creation, you are talking about what is knowledge and engagement in the P.O.C. 8YDC798 and Unistar Foods Incorporated, license 03061G2, US dot, what's the US dot number? US dot 720323. Unistar Foods Incorporated, their address 128 North Gibbs Street in Pomona, California, and California 120542. All right, that's the information with regard to Unistar, who's at Andy's Burgers in relevant position, monitoring, stalking under the fake SEN, terrorizing in directed light with the rest of the minions, 5ZGW564, 8PLM754, Specialty AC and Heat. Specialty AC and Heat is stalking in the path at Andy's Burgers while directed light is on the brick wall, while that demon driving that commercial vehicle is stalking somebody in a drive-thru. All right, and that demon is identified and is no longer hidden, and their criminal conduct is documented. License CALBOYS is the license plate. Cowboys on what is a commercial vehicle that says Specialty AC and Heat. License 784495, driven by an African-American male. The phone number of the Specialty AC and Heat is 909-982-7999. All right, that's the most horrible commercial that business can possibly have. They're terrorizing and stalking and monitoring, and they are of demon possession. All right, it's currently 8:47 a.m. Brian's Automotive, walking around in directed light. Across the street, fake sun is over the venue. They are patrolling while they are on their business of Bryant's Automotive in relevant position inside of what is a car garage, monitoring to the ongoing activities such as Union Pacific in the background. It's facilitating conduct for all of the minions around to monitor. All right, it's 8:47 a.m. I think I read their license plate already. 7ZLV651. I'm just reading license plates. License 77366D3. 77366D3 2WVF546. Oh, 41071G3. 85144K2. 7CCS 957. All right, I did capture, first of all, license plate 7LJV140. That's a demon stalking with activity as I start recording my podcast. 41756D2, monitoring with Brian's Automotive, coming onto the property, which is crossing path, creating light activity using their hazards while the fake sun is right over me. And by the way, it is over Center Ice Arena. It has deviated from being over the B&G Plaza. It has deviated from being over what is 630 North Fern. Okay, and why? Because I have deviated from remaining present there. So not only are you looking at what is stalking with the fake sun that's over me at the Center Ice while I'm standing in front of Brian's Automotive, you see directed light inside of the garage, absolutely impossible light activity. And this is while the fake sun, as I am facing south, showing you what is the venue of Center Ice Arena, where I went in and I documented those license plates of those minions at that venue. You have what is the third party of Unistar that I documented their information on my podcast, engaging in what is harassment while that demon is hostile. They can, and you, whether you recognize that or not, let me be clear, they're creating audible activity by honking their horn for no reason because I'm standing on the sidewalk. I'm not in their way. It is indeed hostility by a demon who knows that I documented them. And it is also hostility and engagement in the elements because they are under a fake sun and directed light while they are crossing path. Okay, that's activity creation, and that is a terrorizing threat. That is a threat. That is the very threat to the life. They're acting on behalf of the government that is targeting you. And in that regard, you're understanding Unistar, who is already identified. This is not the first time I'm engaging in the P.O.C, but you have what is engaging in that pattern of conduct and then engaging in what I capture on video. That is the very conduct of the people of the state. That is the true nature of the people of the state who are engaged in an incessant threat to the life, who are engaged in incessant sexually violent conduct, terrorizing and chasing into bathrooms while they are engaged in this obsessive endeavor to engage in interstate stalking with the government. While they are of the condition, which is also terrorizing demon possession, because that's exactly what their condition is. This is satanic in every regard. Western Allied is present in relevant position. All right, 93394B3, Western Allied Corporation, air conditioning contractors. Their contractor license is 198821. This is vehicle number 269. The California number 005150. In the parking lot of what is Andy's Burgers. I want to be clear, the state's fake sun, I've also captured this state's fake sun while I'm inside of Andy's Burgers at this time. It's 8:54 a.m. And I was juxtaposing that video with what was the state having its fake sun over me while I was at the Stater Brothers, the Ontario Village Shopping Center, while I was facing south and showing you what was central presence over me. Western Allied Corporation, Unistar Foods, have no form. All right, Center Ice Arena, a venue, the state's fake sun is over that building because of the position where I am. The state is stalking with a light source. And that is why 630 North Fern is a group stalker, just like 621 North Fern is a group stalker. And this is where the state is moving its fake sun based on where I am relative to me. Okay? That is the ongoing status of all third parties, the people of the state who are stalking, and they are demon-possessed, psychopath, sex-offending group stalkers. 6PQZ175. All right, and you have vivid illustrations of that at the Ovid Family Community Library. Psychopaths walking around, stalking in a bathroom, and it's no longer hidden. You see the directed light that they're in. That's a sex offender that's chasing somebody in the bathroom. All right, and they don't have anything to hide under anymore. There's nothing normal about it. There's nothing concealed about what they're doing anymore. That's exactly what you saw at Montclair Place. Those are demons filling that bathroom, okay? And doing so in directed light, showing you the raw, unadulterated images of what are sex offenders in the state of California representing the government. That's the government stalking in that private space. And you are a sex offender with the intent to engage in that conduct with the government, showing the existence of a system while that directed light is in the bathroom. There is no form anymore. 7ZDZ684. What the state is doing, what the state is, what the people are doing, what the people are is fully revealed. 8VOZ709. And that's how I'm able to go to any location and show you what is at a specific time as I draw you a very specific illustration of stalking with a fake sun. all right, which is cumulative documentation of revealing what is terrorism when you're understanding the entity, the state of California is stalking with the fake sun while it's monitoring in direct violation of Title 18 and not doing it by itself, it's doing it with the demon-possessed that are the people of the state. All right, that's revealed by a fake sun. That's revealed by the directed light. Hundreds and hundreds of videos revealing that. All right, demons engaging in that conduct with impunity. All right, and then I'm going to prosecute them intensely in federal court and show them to be the demons that they are, which on those days prior to being prosecuted, they were showing with impunity. All right, just engaging in all manner of sexual violence with directed light, unaware of the ways in which that criminal and demented conduct is going to be used against them, how it's going to translate into a federal prosecution. All right, 7TGN 473, 7CAX 296. In Ontario Police, the demons of that agency, group stalking and crossing path while I'm in front of Shiro's Liquor, by the way, 6EQJ 965, 5MUF 743. All right, those are heavily demon-possessed. They are entirely infected, and they are entirely illegitimate based on that. With demon possession, first of all, they're criminals who have been shown to be, and they are not just ordinary criminals. First of all, because they are police who are engaged in criminal activity in violation of federal law. They are demon-possessed. This is a danger that they pose to the public by virtue of that condition, which they continue to demonstrate under a fake sun and indirect light, and by their group stalking activity. And also, I have also had the pleasure of showing you what is the fake sun directly over the Ontario Police Department at 2500 South Archibald Avenue. Recall that. All right. The state's fake sun following where I go because the system is in ceaseless operation. It is the identification of demons. It is the identification of that ongoing criminal system. And it is the identification of demons who surround, including inside of that building, which is merely identified as the Ontario Police Department. All right. Cowboys now exiting B&G Plaza, loitering for that entire time. ATWJ 884. 8FGC 965, 427VF, handicap. Looks like an Asian male. Exiting out of what is B&G Plaza. Excuse me, Satan. Sit over here. What is on the bench? Oh, no, it's okay. Are you, hi, are you sitting at the bench or what? Am I in your way? Are you sitting over here? Okay. Oh, then I document. It is 8:59 a.m. And capturing a still image at 8:59, showing you the state's fake sun nowhere near over the Center Ice Arena anymore. 213-21C2, 6GRJ 440, 8NLG 374, 7FPW 874, and showing you what is the stalking conduct of minions who are on the sidewalk at the it is at the B&G Plaza at the bus stop benches specifically, where the state's fake sun has now positioned itself, and this is all the state is doing. I just want to point out something. For example, this morning I did not. I was capturing my video, and so that's what I was focusing on. But I want to point out the conduct of an absolute psychopath, okay? Tracy Banks, the state's fake sun is remaining over me as I show you on video. She enters the parking lot, and this is the demon in action, and she's doing it while I'm in the car, all right? She's in relevant position 80453J3, 6GQY 958, and as she enters the parking lot of Stater Brothers, she enters the parking lot, and instead of getting into a parking space, she drives through. She drives around back to the back of the parking lot. She drives in a circle again. She drives twice through the parking lot. 8UHR625. Let me be clear. She is engaging in. There's no search for a parking spot. She could have parked in anywhere, literally. She is driving in a circle. This is a demon that is pacing around in directed light, where I showed you the state's fake sun is directly above us. 7ACB662, 8YYS 686, I believe. It is absolutely, it's just weird, first of all, discerning the fact that demons, let alone one that you are blood related to, but her condition is demon possession, 16533L2, and to witness that weird conduct in action, it is like, this is going to be prosecuted as terrorism because it's absolutely beyond freaky and weird as an entire entity does stuff like that. 5MBF 911, 8JUY 264, while they also want to touch you with what is unnaturally occurring light, while that which is also not the sun is always over your head, while you're walking around at night and you have multiple shadows all around you, while everywhere that you're going, you have what is occurring with simultaneity to your most minor movement, the sound of sirens that are always close in proximity to where you're at, while literally demons who are psychopaths are in emergency vehicles and police and fire truck vehicles patrolling all around the perimeter around you. License 8LJU244 is exiting B&G Plaza. Now, this is terrorism. Okay, and this is what the entity is doing: molesting 24 hours a day with engineered light. And then the psychopaths, the intent of Satan goes around in circles over and over and over again in this engineered light. And take an image of that in your mind. Think about it: walking around, driving around, running around, however you want to picture it, going in circles, which is pacing in engineered light, in the abnormal light. That's what they want to do. That's what Satan is engaged in. That's what the demon possessed do. They're psychopaths. 8AKK135, VALURLF. 8VIG950. And guess what? While they are driving by, this is one entity, one demon after another. They're doing that which is pacing. You're talking about what is understanding one entity that is acting through a multiplicity of faces, all right, including the demons of the fire department, American Medical Response, of the Ontario Police Department, of whatever a third party or state actor that I've identified. They're one entity. So you have what is Satan, who is operating over an entity, all right, and also understanding the legal context as you're going to prosecute Satan, the public entity that is pacing all around you by virtue of third parties and the state, okay? And as you're driving by, you're crossing path, and all you're doing is crossing path over and over and over and over. License 1548449, Chino Valley Fire. All right, crossing path. I've also documented the Chino Police Department. They're doing nothing but stalking in the path under a fake sun. And it's a demonic entity that is literally crossing paths with you in an obsessive manner. These are demons that are not engaged in ordinary conduct. That's why a fake sun and directed light coexist with their presence. This entire entity is focused on me. And that's why you have what is at this time in the morning, where I have already gone back from what is 8TWF105, excuse me, let me get these, 5X8. 3340 7YWL671. And that is why you have what is on December 31st, 2021, where I remain at American Inn. The state's fake sun remains over there, which is in the absolute opposite direction and does not coexist whatsoever. It's not in the same sky space of American Inn or the Bank of America, as I remain at that venue, as I showed you on December 31st, 2021. On January 1st, 2022, where I wake up, I show you at 8:30 in the morning what is the fake sun that remains over me. Today, I went to the same venues that I went to on January 1st. I did that before 8:30 in the morning, and the state's fake sun is at no time present over 630 North Fern at 8:30 in the morning. That's why I'm able to capture the fake sun over the Center Ice Arena while I'm standing at Bryant's Automotive, and you're also looking at what is directed light. All right? That's how I'm able to capture it, because the state is following with a fake sun. All right, it's specific to where I am. BU85T57 paper. 26264F2. This is why I'm able to capture that. There is no time at 8:30 in the morning, nor is the state returning to 630 North Fern at after 9 a.m. like I did, like I showed you on video, where the state was in real-time movement from this venue where I'm located now, at B&G Plaza. All right, and that's what I showed you. Because I move, you see that fake sun moving and moving rapidly. ETC, GRG, and also a violent sex offender reaching out to attack with what is directed light, which is absolutely abnormal. It is an attack with that which is unnaturally occurring, speaking to a threat that they are posing with the government while they're stalking in the path and stalking with directed light. Absolute demons. It is currently 9:05 a.m. License plate 5RGZ994 8PGN 526 7G04974 8LWL181 7UHH608. Touching and molesting with directed light 1545684. And that's Omnitrans. This is P.O.C. And that's Omnitrans bus number 2350 1545684. Touching with directed light under the fake sun. P.O.C. All right, it is currently 9:08 a.m. And that demon waited until I opened up my app and their phone sounds. That's a means of stalking with audible activity. The state's fake sun is aiming directly into the bus, and directed light is on the bus. And so you're going to recall, for example, what is January 1st, 2022, where at this time I am driving away from the B&G Plaza. I'm driving west on Hope Boulevard, and the state's fake sun is remaining in the window as I travel back west on Hope Boulevard after driving east to get to the B&G Plaza. And then I return back to what is 630 North Fern, where I remain for the duration of the day. And then January 2nd, where I'm showing you on the 10 freeway, I'm showing you in the city of Upland, I'm showing you as we're going through Fontana, and I'm showing you as I go to the same venues I went to later in the morning, the state keeping a fake sun over me in direct conflict with nature, and that is not the conduct of the sun. That is remaining directly over me everywhere that I am going, including on the 10 freeway, eastbound, okay, at the Cherry exit, at the Valley exit, and I'm showing you what is maintenance in the window that is central presence over me, while I have also documented what was the day prior remaining stationary over me at 630 North Front. Okay, so the state is keeping its fake sun in the window of the bus. It is 9:10 a.m. And you're going to remember, first of all, what is not the sun, and then also not sunlight while that demon that is operating the bus, number 2350, open and closes the door. And that's how you're understanding also what I've already established. Stalking with light, stalking with a fake sun, and that is directed light. The same directed light that Omnitrans molests with while they cross path and I am outside of the bus. All right, so you have what is the movement of the state's fake sun that is going now east on Holt Boulevard in direct conflict with what I showed you on the 1st of 2022, going west in the window of the vehicle as I'm traveling back to 630 North Fern. That's what the state is doing right now, and so you're understanding what is not the sun and what is also not sunlight. But even if, for example, we were going at the same time, all right, say I was driving in the same direction at the same time, this directed light conduct is not sunlight. It's absolutely impossible light activity, and it is the demon's intent to engage in molesting with this engineered light and surrounding all around you, touching everything all around with directed light. All right, it is literally Satan, the personification of Satan and demons, and understand of demon possession that are intending to engage in keeping surrounded and keeping all over you, which is sexually violent conduct. This is the stalker who's touching. You're going to prosecute them for the sex offending conduct that it is. All right, and so you're talking about what is the objective to touch and molest and surround with this engineered light. That is not light that's going to occur when you're opening and closing the door. In addition to that, you have what is also not even the sun that's remaining over me, and as you are engaging in activity creation, terrorizing that is, and touching with directed light on the bus. Okay, that is P.O.C. It is currently 9:11 a.m. Alrighty, I did show on video what is, first of all, the state's light source that is remaining over the bus at Vineyard and Holt Boulevard. And the state's fake sun is remaining over the bus while we have traveled. That is from B&G Plaza. And if you'll recall my documentation, not only on the 31st, the state kept its fake sun over the American Inn. I didn't exit American Inn until 11 a.m. And then also you have what is on the 1st, where I have returned to what is the 630 North Fern in the car, and the state kept its fake sun stationary over that vehicle, over that street all day long, okay, until, which I showed in video, until 4:27 p.m. And then at 4:38 p.m. I'm showing you what is movement as we're going west on G Street in the evening, and the state kept its fake sun in alignment. This is yesterday again, where I am still at what is 630 North Fern, yesterday being the 2nd. I'm still at 630 North Fern, and I show you as we are moving, going to the Stater Brothers parking lot, the Ontario Village Shopping Center, what is the state's fake sun that remains over it. This is at Vineyard and Holt in the absolute opposite direction. All right, in other words, the east end of Holt Boulevard at Vineyard and Hall, and I'm showing you what is the Jack in the Box is the building you see, and the demon that gets off of the bus is a Latina female with a pink sweater on. She is pacing on the bus. Directed light is on the bus, and the state's fake sun is over the bus. And she's using her communication device, just like you heard on my podcast, as a means of stalking with audible activity. And then she goes to the front of the bus, which is the creation of what is a forum for stalking with activity, bell cab crossing path. And you have what is creating activity while the bus driver, the Caucasian female who I'm identifying as well, who is driving this bus, is then engaging in opening and closing the doors, and flashing directed light is moving across the bus. And all these demons are sitting on the bus monitoring and stalking with the state. Okay, that's all that they are doing, and that's why that impossible light activity is ongoing. And you are also understanding what is the terrorism by the entity. Okay, psychopaths surround, silently present in relevant position on behalf of the government while that environment is ongoing. Okay, while they are monitoring with communication devices, while they are documenting as the terrorists that they are, and they're demon-possessed ones, stalking with the government. Okay, that's why the fake sun is over the bus, and that's why directed light is ongoing, and that's what I showed 9:15 a.m. 9:15 a.m. I believe. And again, at this time I have returned to 630 North Fern on which I showed in video on the 1st of 2022. All right, so I am at in Ontario at what is the B&G Plaza going west, and this video is captured at the intersection of Vineyard and Holt Boulevard at the Jack in the Box, going toward and turning the corner, and as we are sitting in the shade under a bridge covering, I believe, before you get onto Airport Boulevard, and you have what is engaging in directed light that's appearing on the bus, on the floor, while we are sitting in the shade. All right, this is P.O.C. It's 9:19 a.m. and at the Ontario Airport, the state's fake sun is over the bus. The bus is creating light activity, just like you saw at Brian's Automotive under the fake sun. That's what Omnitrans is doing, while demons are repeatedly driving by their crossing path, while directed light is stationary on the bus. It's the P.O.C. All right, it is 9:19. Thank you, Sadie. Alright, directed light is in the center of the bus, stationary, while the bus stop is used as a means of creating light activity. That's hazard lights. And demons are patrolling in traffic. Okay. 5YHZ155U26 Alright, license plate 8EHW067. It's 9:19 a.m. And again, this is bus number 2350. You hear that clicking, the hazard lights are on. The fake sun is over the bus at the Ontario airport, and that is patrolling by demons who are stalking in the path. They're monitoring the communication devices, and the state's fake sun is nowhere possible coexisting with remaining over 630 North Fern, as I have shown you. License plate 93508S2, that's Bell Cab crossing path. VVG 386 7G 68070.
Route 61, Fontana.
Federal law requires masks on board and stop.
License BT75B18, paper 8YEJ D02, I believe. That's audible activity, crossing path on a communication device. That's an African American male. It's a demon. He's on surveillance camera of the bus as well. He's on the sidewalk. He's crossing path with audible activity. It is 9:21 a.m. License, let's see, 4HEM154. For MEM154, excuse me. (7MB23E). While they cross path on the driver's side of the bus, directed light appearing shimmering light on the inside of the bus. Absolutely impossible light activity. License plate 8YDP484. And again, these third parties are on traffic on the surveillance cameras of the bus. The bus is armed with cameras on the inside and on the outside. Which also you'll see me on the inside. I am standing up on the bus, reading these demons' license plate 7XIR954. See. 7RFE9, I can't see the rest of them. 6HLB856, I believe. I can't really see that one. Ontario Police Vehicle 1011, under the fake sun. Crossing path. License, let's see, 6161082. And it is 9:22 a.m. Alright, the Ontario Airport is a state facilitating venue. Crossing what is John Bangs Road, that's a street on the property of the Ontario Airport. This is where the state's fake sun is moving in alignment with me at the window, and I'm standing at the front of the bus, approaching Airport Drive now. License 6GFN682, 7XIR944, turning onto Airport Drive, going west. I can't see this. And we are going now what is east on Airport Drive at 9:23 a.m. P.O.C. All the minions on the bus, and I've already referenced the camera speaking to my presence and the pattern of conduct. They are monitoring with the state in directed light and under the fake sun. License 7LMV989. And again, while 7LMV 989 crosses path, 8NEN862. While 7LMV 989 crosses path, shimmering directed light on the bus. It's impossible light activity. It's 9:24 a.m. That's my stuff dropping on the ground.
Archibald Avenue.
Passing U.S.C. We are on Archibald. It's 9:24 a.m. 7LMV989 gets on the 10 East Freeway. Just want to document that. Rider at the 10 Freeway West. We're at the stoplight. 8NEN 862-7G8070 6ZAP234. Seven RZD 998. Let's see. 7Z15 6L2. 7XERB1. I'm sorry, 7XER819. Turning on to Inland Empire Boulevard at Archibald. 8AIB 238, I believe, and 82536L1, 7SDF 108.
61, Fontana.
And it is currently 9:26 a.m. All right, now right now where they stop, you have a truck that's in the middle of the street stalking with hazard lights while this demon gets on the bus. Understand that's form. And they're stalking in the path, creating light activity while doing so. This truck, the trailer is called Pacer Stack Train. And I don't see any, I can't see the license plate on that. It's sitting in the middle of the street at Inland Empire, right past the mobile gas station and the plaza on the opposite side of the street with the hazard lights on. That's a method of light activity, and then the bus stops to let on another third party. They're monitoring together. Alrighty, at Via Molinara and Inland Empire, the Ontario Fire Department is stalking in the parking lot of that plaza at that intersection. 3002 Inland Empire Boulevard, that's the nearest address I'm looking at. The 4-Zi Volleyball, the address is 3008. Approaching Turner and Inland Empire, the Ontario Fire Department is on Inland Empire, stalking in the path in these business plazas in the parking lot areas. And that's exactly what they were doing last night, stalking around the perimeter around me, sounding sirens and touching me with directed light. That's the color of their emergency vehicles while they're sounding sirens. That's what you listen to, and that's what I documented. And that's what they're doing now while the state is keeping a fake sun over me on the bus that is going on, driving on Inland Empire Boulevard toward Fontana. It is 9:27 a.m. License 8KPF988 DANW1 8KTC 664 JXM M99. That's a Florida plate. At Haven and Inland Empire. ATLR 499. Currently 9:28 a.m. Passing Porsche and Inland Empire. Passing the Platt College, the Benihana. And the state is moving its fake sun over all of those venues, over the Stay America, the Holiday Inn, Stay America, the Benihana. The state's fake sun moving through the window, just like I showed you in substantial video yesterday, and as I've already demonstrated. I even showed you this morning while the state was moving its fake sun as we were in motion. Going down Whole Boulevard. It is 9:29 a.m. Passing the CarMax at 4100, which would be Inland Empire Boulevard. The fake sun moving over the CarMax property. CarMax is a third party. They are monitoring. All right. License 55867 handicap. At Ferrari and Inland Empire Boulevard. This is the Home Center, Ontario. Contains Valerie Furniture, Arizona Leather, and Hooters. That's a plaza where the state's fake sun is over the property. We're at bus stop number 5832 at 9:30 a.m. where the state's fake sun is present. Directed light as she opens and closes the door.
Requires masks on board and is stocked.
And the fake sun is above the bus. And just remember, on January 1st, 2022, the state is keeping a fake sun over Fern Avenue over the vehicle. At the same exact time. All right, it is 9:30 a.m. Let's see. UPS is crossing path. They are at what is the Cane's Raising Chicken on inside of the driveway of Ontario Mills in the middle lane, turning toward the 76. While we are at the stoplight of Milliken and Inland Empire, they're stalking in the path and crossing path and doing so at 9:30 a.m.
Stop requested. If possible, please use rear doors.
Si posible. Favor usar la puerta trasera.
That's audible activity under a fake sign and indirected light. As the demons on this bus request stops, as the demons use the bus to make announcements, it's audible activity. And it's used to engage in stalking with audible activity. And they request stops based on what I do. 8BYA514. And they are at the Raising Cane's. That's a method of documentation as well. Alrighty, it is 9:31 a.m.
Ontario Mills, service by loss 61, 81, 82, and RTA.
38036H2. And as you heard, we are at the Ontario Mills. And these menus are on surveillance cameras, which I'm also referencing again. P.O.C. They cross path as they get off. It's in directed light. And they're monitoring. This is employee number 2604. This is a white female. P.O.C. Alrighty. It is again 9:32 a.m. Alrighty, flashing directed light onto me. You have a demon that's just standing in front of the door. They wait until I engage in activity on my phone or I make any specific move, and then they get on the bus, which is a method of crossing a path and activity creation. This is what this male is doing now. He looks like he's about 13. He's stalking in the path. He's in front of the door. Bus number 2350 on surveillance camera. He's already addressed the bus driver, who again is employee 2640. This is a white female who's monitoring, and directed light moving inside of the bus while demons that are crossing path on the street. All right, including, let me see, this is license plate, and by the way, it is 9:33 a.m. 8WCT 384. All right, driving by on the street is never going to create any sort of light activity on the bus. All right, this demon that's sitting in front of the bus that looks like he's 13, wearing skin-tight jeans, and I'm referencing the camera as he gets on, is monitoring while that light activity is ongoing on the bus. And they're monitoring together. All right, getting on and off the bus is the state's means of stalking in the path while light activity is remaining under what is the fake sun. 7TX, I can't really see that one actually. It is 9:34 a.m.
Route 61, Fontana.
Federal law requires masks on board.
Coca-Cola is crossing path on 4th Street.
No ride.
And remember, that is intentional crossing a path and stalking with the state. That's why directed light is appearing on the bus. All right, they're monitoring and doing so at a distance 8HNG 445. Monitoring by crossing path inside of the parking lot of the McDonald's. While the state is aiming directed light onto this bus, they're demons, and it is 7ZYR 755. Crossing path. And as I showed you in the morning before at the Ontario Mills, the state's fake sun is toward what is the passenger side while keeping in alignment with me at the Ontario Mills. I've shown you this before in multiple videos. You're going to recall when I'm showing you the demon-possessed agency that are the Ontario Police Department, 5NCK321, who are group stalking at the 76 gas station inside of the Ontario Mills. And where was the state's fake sun? Just on the opposite side of the bus, 8BYA514. That is also showing what is the state's fake sun in stalking with a fake sun. In the morning, the state's fake sun remaining on one side of one vehicle that's taking the same path, 8EKU931. The state's fake sun, as the Ontario Police are using their vehicles as light activity, 8FDX886. 5YCW. I can't really see the rest of the line. You can scratch that. The state's fake sun is literally on the opposite side of the same. I'm sorry, not the same bus. On the opposite side of the bus that's driving on the same road at the Ontario Mills parking lot, while they are stalking in the path at the 76. 7TYE720. That is P.O.C. All right, 8V20529, and that's where the state's fake sun is right now, to the passenger side of the bus, as I've already documented at Ontario Mills, and this is P.O.C. Alrighty, but that is documentation that already exists that I've already shown. All right, and at 9:36 a.m., 7UPK257, and this is while directed light coexists with this 8LIX595, also monitoring while employee number 2640. This is a white female, closes the door, and directed light coexists, moving across the seat that she's sitting on, moving across the black panel, moving across the front of the bus. Absolutely impossible light, and this is also not the sun that's at the same time remaining over 630 North Fern in Ontario. All right, that's terrorism. While she's stalking, while driving the bus, because that's exactly what she is. She's stalking with the state, and she's terrorizing, as well as the minions that are on the bus. It is 9:36 a.m. It is 9:37 a.m. All right, you have a second Coca-Cola vehicle crossing path again, and I'm gonna document it because they know they're being documented, and so 80727G2, 8GKP305 at what is the freeway entrance or exit. That is, well, it is an entrance and an exit of the 15 at 4th Street, 8RDV048. Crossing path where the fake sun is right here at the intersection. Alrighty, and it is 9:38 a.m. This is where let me see, 96729S2 8WLX445, where the Alberto's at the Chevron at the intersection. I've shown you the fake sun while the sheriff's department was stalking in the path while I'm on the bus. That's exactly where I'm at. That's exactly what's ongoing right now. 8MNZ288 with regard to third parties, including Amazon Prime, who are crossing path in that deliberately maintained environment. That is probative of exactly what it is stalking with the government and by the government. We are at Wineville, Santa Anita on 4th Street. At bus stop number 5837. Directed light touching me while she opens the door. These are nothing but minions that get on the bus. This is audible activity creation by minions and what is directed light. That's why it's appearing while she opens and closes the door. This is how Omnitrans monitors with the random minions across the street. They just stop at a bus stop to engage in P.O.C. together. It's directed light while she opens the door. Audible activity while they talk. They're demons that are just bantering, monitoring together. Okay? That was all P.O.C. License plate 49119H2. A directed light while this demon opens the door at the crossroads, the train stop. It's a method of activity creation. Hazard lights are on. Open and closes the door. Directed light activity spans inside of the bus. The City of Ontario is monitoring to that. License 1606897. Dumpster truck number 9172. And the fake sun is directly over. Passing what is state facilitating venue, West Valley Detention Center, which is we're crossing what is approaching, Barrington Avenue. Directed light is on this curb in the shade while the City of Ontario is driving in front of the bus. That's exactly what I showed you on video while American Medical Response was stalking by driving in front of the vehicle on Mountain Avenue on December 8th, 2021. That's exactly what the City of Ontario is doing right now. 2836172. Just a line of directed light spanning toward the curb, all right, while they're stalking by being in front, monitoring with the Sheriff's Department. License 1479638. A trail of demons, okay? All right, while the fake sun is over that state facilitating venue, and that's why they're going to federal prison for kidnapping while they're engaged in federal stalking. That's the Sheriff's Department, 16567X2, and the City of Ontario engaging in what was criminal summoning, engaged in kidnapping as well, while they're together terrorizing and stalking under the fake sun. 1220441. And guess what? Omnitrans, that is monitoring and stalking and terrorizing right now, also engaged in federal stalking, going out of their way to cross path while I'm kidnapped by this entity by driving Route 66, crossing path on Etiwanda. All of these demons that are monitoring it right now engaged in kidnapping, as I documented it already. Okay, and it is 9:41 a.m. Satan, it loses at every turn. Let me be clear, that's a state vehicle that I documented as well. 2836. I can't really see that one. You scratch that. Passing what is Etiwanda and San Bernardino Avenue, 4CB 1023. As they engage in that terrorism, they're the same ones that engaged in repeated acts of kidnapping. And in the same way that they are stalking with directed light, that's what the City of Ontario reveals about itself. That number one, they're demons. Number two, they're stalkers. And number three, they know exactly who I am. And that's exactly what was ongoing while I was kidnapped by the Sheriff's Department, who are intentionally crossing paths under the fake sun. And that's exactly what they were doing while I was kidnapped. They were monitoring someone who was in that kidnapped state. You are engaged in kidnapping as well. 16567X2. And guess what? They also engaged in criminal summoning, all while federal stalking is underway on behalf of the government. They're engaged in kidnapping. And that's also how that ongoing P.O.C. that I've documented is going to have them landing in federal prison. All right? Because as commercial actors engage in the P.O.C., thanks to Amazon Prime showing you how that's done, what it looks like, that's exactly what they were doing while I was kidnapped on the vehicles of the Sheriff's Department. 10629X2, knowing exactly where I was, know exactly who I am, and engaging in stalking and monitoring me while I'm in that kidnapped state, engaging in their ritualistic satanic system as commercial actors, including Omnitrans. It's 9:43 a.m. And that is indeed all of those actors engaging in the P.O.C. together while that's how I'm able to read their license plates. And they are all under the fake sun, which I've also shown you. We are at Commerce Drive and San Bernardino Avenue, which I have also shown you in a plethora of videos that already exist. All right, it is 9:43 a.m. Y5229, I believe. I can't really see that one though. It's substantially similar. It's a white Ford F-150. Directed light moving across the top of the bus. XP87801, impossible light activity. And license plate 10629X2 at 9:44 a.m. $8XSG663. Passing Prologis Drive on San Bernardino Avenue at 9:44 a.m. Passing Calabash Avenue on San Bernardino Avenue. So we are on San Bernardino Avenue when we're passing Calabash, and it's 9:45 a.m. 8V79281. Approaching what is Cherry Avenue. Fake Sun over Inland Kenworth at the intersection. License 8XSG663. $44936G3, I believe. I can't really see that whole license plate, but that is Burtech Waste Management. Crossing path on Cherry. From San Bernardino Avenue on the opposite side, so they're turning what is south onto Cherry. Eight VMP 644. 8UJJ166. 6RMW. I can't really see the rest on you, scratch that. YP37570 05260W2 7EGM220 XP5. I can't really see the rest of that one. You can scratch that one. This is look like San Bernardino County. Sure is. 1595335. San Bernardino County stalking on the side of the road using their hazard lights or their those vehicle lights. It's a utility truck. Just creating light activity in the path. All right, that's what the demon was doing at Brian's Automotive under the fake sun. That's the demonic activity. Stalking with methods of flashing light. W78059. And while they cross path, flashing light appeared, directed light onto the bus. And while they cross path, they're monitoring 4BXY115. They're monitoring with San Bernardino County, who's creating that facilitating light. 17338V1. 7NVS844. Mind your way, go ahead. 4BXY115. That is directed light, and that is the voice of 2640. Employee number, white female. Omnitrans crossing path 1545798. It's currently 9:48 a.m. At Hemlock Avenue and San Bernardino. 17624Z1. 7WWG609. 6VBK301. Passing K-Rob Avenue, C-A-R-O-B, Carob, on San Bernardino. 8249D3, substantially similar. That's a large truck. Passing Beach Avenue. We're on San Bernardino still. San Bernardino Avenue. YVA 518. 8AJT 886. We are at Fontana Avenue, Elm Avenue, I believe Elm and Fontana turn into one street, I guess. These signs are always confusing to me. It's like 5 areas at the intersection. At San Bernardino Avenue and Fontana Avenue / Elm Avenue. It's 9:50 a.m. 7RHR100. See, 7WWN 520. 4JJP 780, 4XYE 231, 6Z24, I can't see that one, 7BWJ 582, 8VSA 919, 8XHU, excuse me, 784 or 794. Can't really see that one though. 5GWY 186. Stalking with light in the path while we're on San Bernardino Avenue, in the far right lane. All right, on San Bernardino Avenue, there's 2 lanes on the westbound side, 2 lanes on the eastbound side, creating light activity in the same lane that we're on, driving on San Bernardino Avenue ahead. All right, so minions that I'm crossing path with, that I'm identifying, they're monitoring together, and that's how you are documenting, first of all, an entity. They're creating light activity while minions continuously surround you up until the point you get to, unless that minion drives off and tries to escape. That's why there's no escaping documentation. All right, all of these are false premises upon which the entire system was based upon, and assuming that you can never document or even identify or even accurately or substantially allege stalking by a bunch of strangers. And that's not true. They're stalking. A bunch of strangers are indeed stalking, and they're doing so on behalf of the government, who is not a stranger. You identify the public entity. That's the state of California. All right, engaging in terrorism while doing so. Okay, commissioning a bunch of strangers that are the people of the state, also using commercial actors. Oh, that's unprecedented terrorism. SoCal Edison crossing path at Citrus Avenue and San Bernardino Avenue at 9:53 a.m. Directed light across the ceiling of the bus while 8Z63177 stops on the driver's side of the bus. Absolutely impossible light. That's a demon that's stalking. All right, wearing his cowboy hat while doing so. License 8HNE347. They're all stalking together. That's why that light activity exists. It's not only the elements of monitoring. Well, that demon is stalking. It's facilitation for everyone else to monitor as well. 215 LB handicap. 4X75. I can't see the rest of that one. At Oleander in San Bernardino. 5TJF379 monitoring. 8VSA708 monitoring. 8NXD847 monitoring. 7DIR 895. 8WWL574. 7FYN212. And facilitating light created. 3VMG596, facilitating light, stalking in the path by what is Vector 1599 87. I can't really see the rest of that plate, but that's Vector VACTOR 7BYK986, and I've documented Vector before. At Cypress Avenue, we're passing, and you have another utility vehicle creating light activity. On the opposite side, right beside the Fontana First Assembly of God, a non-church. It's a facilitating venue. That's why City of Fontana is on the property creating light activity. It's demonic conduct on the property of a venue that identifies itself as a church. All right. That's what's so funny about it. We are at Juniper. That's City of Fontana and Vector surrounding the perimeter with light activity. All right. You've got another demon over here creating light activity at Juniper. This is, first of all, Alaska HBZ314. And creating light using a utility vehicle is... Uh-oh. Are we stuck in the street? Oh. License 7Y40183.
Can you read?
What happened? Are they blocking you?
Yeah, apparently they don't know what do not block means.
This is
They don't
U.N.X.
teach you to
traffic.
read very well in Alaska. I
You
don't
would?
know.
That was a good one by Minion. Okay. 8EZD 354 4YLA 222. That's funny. She said that because those are Alaska license plates. So anyway, license 6GIR 354 8KIL 652 180KT handicap 8SME 277 8T21954 8PSV 207 09954G1 82900V2. Engaging in un-American and demonic monitoring and stalking activity on behalf of the government while carrying a flag on their vehicle. Just want to note that. It's hilarious. Not hilarious in a funny way, hilarious in a pathetic way, okay? And absolutely appalling with regard to the hypocrisy. Bus stop number 5614, J302F0, and it's currently 9:57 a.m.
Fontana.
All right, this is bus stop number 5614 in front of the Dino Papavero Senior Center. The fake sun is directly over that property, and I'm being molested with directed light while I'm sitting on the bus. Okay, just want to document that. 7TLZ879, 7XDV211, 8KNY951,
South Fontana Transit
8FTW915.
Service by lots 1961.
Yeah, 8LIE444, 8Y42335.
Hill Valley Transit.
Alrighty, and it is 9:57 a.m.
Have a good day. Good morning.
Good morning, I see you on the 61.
Yeah, gotta mix it up, you know?
I know, yeah.
Directed light and touching while the doors are open and closed. State's Fake Sun is directly over this intersection where I've shown you in more than one video before. This is exactly what the state is doing at Sierra and Marigold, showing you Kaiser Permanente, showing you the Del Taco right here at the foremost outer corner, the Sizzler that's no longer in operation, the dentistry for kids, orthodontics. So I'm at this intersection, Sierra and Marigold, Fake Sun directly above. 5JUJ046, 6GIR354, 7REJ621, 6ABP556. 8WFN941, 5WOG, I can't see that one, 7NXH184, 7BFD595, 5M71416, I believe. They have black stuff on their license plate. 8WT, I can't see that one, you just gotta say 8CKA459, 6DML124, 8EDM418. All right, Fake Sun right here at the intersection. Let's see. 8DZX410. I can't really see that one. 8VTC214. TINYMAC0236 3V1. 4KAJ982. 6JZU211. 7TJX649. 8VSB020. And again, this is the intersection of Marigold and Sierra Avenue at 10 a.m. on the dot. State's Fake Sun is right here over the intersection. 6KEZ216, 8B15901, 8WGE454, 4JDC788, 7DXN521, 7ZJL590, 22059N2. And what is that called? Demons that are patrolling 8WGE641, patrolling under a fake sun and indirected light, J645XO, 7LOL197, 8DKN. I can't see the rest of them. 6BRX180. As they're just patrolling one after another. All right, systematic surveillance and monitoring, group stalking, that is, by the people on behalf of the government. They're all representing the state. All right, and the by virtue of the presence of that environment, that's how you're understanding how it works. 5HUE256. And what is their condition also? Their condition is also not only the pattern of conduct itself, but this is revealing demon possession. This is demonic conduct as they are engaging in this targeting system. These are demons that are surrounding, demons that are monitoring with the government, engaging in a satanic operation of targeting, and doing so with communication devices monitoring. BT53R74 is the paper plate. License 7YUS252.
Holly Street.
B627, I believe. That's a handicap license plate. Viva Via Taqueria and Seafood at 9585 Sierra Avenue. They're monitoring. Got a demon in the parking lot stalking with light. And by Sierra Avenue, I mean we are driving north on Sierra Avenue. TRM344. Got a demon stalking with hazard lights, just like you saw earlier. This is the pattern. 8RZH899, 5VZN902, 8VHH020, 8BAE956, 62896G3, 7Y58953. All of these demons are monitoring while that demon creates light activity, which is engineered light. Understand the objective. All right, pulsating light, flashing light, flickering light, blinking light in what is engineered light. They're doing so under a fake sun and in engineered light. All right, and while sitting at a red light, all those demons whose license plate I just read, they're monitoring. We are at the red light of Randall Avenue and Sierra Avenue at 10:03 a.m. Snap-on, stalking in the path on Sierra Avenue. Headed southbound on Sierra at 10:03 a.m. 1230222, I believe. Substantially similar. License plate of Snap-on 8NTR003. I read that one already. Seven ZTP 931. Seven RAV 677. All right, it is currently 10:04 a.m. I'm going to document, hold on. 8RNG270, 8KLJ 370. You have a demon that intentionally walks into the street. That creates light activity while the bus driver pounds on the brakes. There are demons that are monitoring together, okay? Doing so at the intersection of what I believe is Merrill and San Bernardino Avenue. What I want to document is Metrolink is crossing path. The significance of that is, first of all, as the train, Metrolink, crosses path, this creates light activity as they use the railroad train lights, flashing light. It's the same exact conduct, okay? And second of all, everybody on that train is monitoring. All right, so this is substantial P.O.C. while they were crossing path and using a facility of interstate commerce, the very train itself, all right, on the train tracks. All right, that's relevant to Title 18. 6RCP861. All right, such trains engaging in interstate commerce by virtue of what they do as well. While the state of California is systematically monitoring American citizens, you enter and engaging in interstate commerce with the intent to place another under surveillance, because this is what the state of California is doing. 51332D1. 5MDN 982, I believe, 7DWC 725, 5MRT 581, 3503-672, I believe. Can't really see that one though. 8EXE 157. And it is 10:05 a.m. (639ZV) handicap, and arriving at the Fontana Metrolink train station. 6NY, you could scratch that one. NACHO84, 8RNG279. I think I read that one though. 6KUA165. I think I read those. Yeah. Those minions are just crossing path again. Directed light across the storefronts on Sierra Avenue while they drive forward. Impossible light. 8EIL950. Copy carriers of Gardena, California. 87356P2, I believe. Driving onto Sierra Avenue from Orange Way. It's currently 10:06 a.m. All right. Got some thirst monsters. 6ZWH536. 70219W2. VA 471 handicap, 8DKN 903, 8POA 684, 5XUM 658, 1850582, 7CIS 960, I'm sorry, you can scratch that one, 6LMO, I can't see that one, 8YIY 707, 8UJT 072, 6XNB 721, 5WBJ 505, 6UCC 176, I believe, 8HKM 489, ISNLUV, excuse me. So while they are driving what is on Sierra Avenue, north on Sierra Avenue, south on Sierra Avenue, while this bus remains in the turn signal, substantial directed light onto the inside of the bus, okay? And so that's why I hop up to document more of those demons. Understand, they need this. It's a method of disciplining psychopaths. 8JOZ, you can scratch that one. 8CDN029, and it speaks to the relentlessness, 7XLB788, 8RFL040. The relentlessness of dangerous psychopaths who pose a danger to society, 8NKV954, 15109G1. These are the same demons that chase you into the bathroom. All right, and this is why you have what is that impossible and ridiculous light activity. And that's exactly what fills the bus. CA23P98 paper, 7B WP013, 6ZIL476, 8J80182, 83711P1, 7XAS 977, and it's 10:09 a.m. and the fake sun is over the Fontana Metrolink train station. 5FEN 772.
Service 5. 10, 14, 15.
5RVH 420.
66, 67, 82, 312. Victorville Valley Transit. Wheeling and Metrolink. Please do not jaywalk. Use the crosswalk or you may receive
License 1535543, I believe. That's Omnitrans, Route 15. Arriving at the bus stop of the Fontana Metrolink train station at 10:09 a.m. under the fake sun and in directed light. The state keeping the fake sun positioned over the bus the entire time, like I've already shown you in documentation.
And it stops. No mask.
Alrighty. And again, this is license plate. License plate 1545684, and this is bus number 2350. Minions off of the bus. I'm sorry, minions that are surrounding the bus as she arrives at the bus stop. And again, that's employee number 2640. I believe this is a white female whose voice you also heard. That's also a means of identifying her. And she's also on surveillance camera. You have what is the state keeping its fake sun positioned the entire time. The state keeping directed light on the bus the entire time. And that's also what I'm documenting. While I'm reading the minions, the people of the state, their license plates, directed light is maintaining, is coexisting with their crossing path. This is what the state is doing while I'm in the car. This is what the state is doing while I stand on any sidewalk. You have directed light that's on the bus while I'm on the interior of the bus, sitting on or standing up today. While I'm sitting outside of the bus, Omnitrans also molesting with directed light while I'm outside. That is that ongoing persistence, that ongoing determination and desire while stalking to touch. Prosecuting that as what is terrorism by the government, that is a violent sex offender. One of the manners whereby the government is sexually violating while they are stalking by the people of the state, demons, absolute psychopaths, all right, whose demon possession is put on Front Street. It is 10:11 a.m. and that is terrorism documented on what is the venue that is identified as Omnitrans. And you have what is, again, as I show you on video, directed light that is molesting my person, that's moving across the sidewalk, which is absolutely impossible light activity under that, which is also not the sun. And you have documentation, which I also show you, of the state moving directed light on the bus, on the inside of the bus, on the floors of the bus, on the seats and on the walls, the panels on the inside of the bus. You're understanding what is absolutely impossible light activity that is based, it's following where I am. If I'm on the bus, it's appearing there. If I'm not on the bus, it's moving outside in order to touch me there. Okay, and that is also understanding what is not sunlight. Sunlight's not creating that method of what's supposedly sunlight. That's also, it's reflecting off of the bus. The shape of the bus is moving across surfaces outside, and then also when you open and close the door, when you are driving on the streets, you have what is directed light that is moving all about on the inside of the bus. That's not sunlight. It's demonic. 7472283. BG36X60, I believe that's paper. 70KX523. 6GQK303. And that is understanding that, and that's what I'm documenting. So why I'm pointing it out. And again, you have, I mean, the reason why I'm documenting, not only because I'm going to prosecute 5AVJ681, it's also understanding this is a relentless system with regard to what are relentlessly desperate and determined stalkers, the people of the state, 939R72. That relentless character, 8PAV778, is demonic. Okay, 8BXN660, 8RDM636, 8RVS040, and that relentless character is deduced on the pattern of conduct itself. Everywhere you're going, no matter which way, directed light is present. Okay, and these demon-possessed stalkers, with knowledge that they're being documented, relentless, 98996S1, 4WRS641. All right, and you're talking about what is on behalf of the government, relentless. Okay, including Fontana PD. Let's get these demons' license plate. Just like the Ontario Police Department, engaging in kidnapping, engaging in what is harassment while federal stalking is underway. That's what Charles Kelly and his children, as I documented the Fontana PD on May 22nd, 2019. License 1452381, crossing path at Orange Way and Sierra Avenue at 10:13 a.m. And they were doing so in 2019 after I was released from being kidnapped by the Ontario Police Department, engaging in federal stalking with a minor at that time. That was Charlisa Kelly, 8SBU661. While they are stalking and monitoring and then engaging in a traffic stop and focusing on me while I'm sitting in the passenger seat, while the driver also does not have on a seatbelt. But these are demons who are targeting me together. 8XHC466 under what is a fake sun. All right, while you are engaging in federal stalking with the minions who are in the car with me. Okay, that's the Fontana Police Department. They are also engaged in kidnapping pursuant to the fictitious prosecution case number Mary Wendy Victor 2000640, as they were present at the state facilitating venue of Arrowhead Regional Medical Center, where I remained kidnapped by the entity, being transferred by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department to Arrowhead Regional Medical Center without my consent and absolute non-conformity to the law. They're engaging in literally just transferring me by hands after I'm documenting them on their surveillance cameras, engaged in prolonged kidnapping while federal group stalking and monitoring was ceaselessly underway. That is the demon-possessed agency of the Fontana Police Department engaging in kidnapping. 8UFN653, 85488Y1, and while they have engaged in that pattern of conduct and those facts, and they are engaging in what is the P.O.C, as I have heavily documented them as well, fake sun over their venue. By the way, like I said, 9:46 a.m. before this time, 8TBX100, and how is that revealing? Because as I remain at Ontario at 9:46 in the morning, the state's fake sun I've documented over my head at the Fontana Police Department, 04221D2. All right, you're talking about what is cumulative with regard to the threat posed by demons who are in the position of law enforcement who want to engage in stalking and monitoring and revealing the fact that they are demon possessed while they are engaging in what is a pattern of kidnapping. And that's what's relevant also while I document that. License 6LLX643. License plate 8UJN628, 7CSG394, 8RSL233, 8XPA107, 8WOB029, 5UEJ830, And let me also point out that Fontana Police Department vehicle was driven by what was a male. He looked thick in the face, perhaps Latino, maybe Asian, olive skin, wearing a beanie, 62950U1, EDUPAIS, and driving what is south on Sierra Avenue. Okay, coming from Valencia, turning onto Sierra Avenue, crossing path at that intersection of Orange Way and Sierra Avenue. 6LQS068. This is Sergio's Locksmith, 37307Y2. And it's 10:16 a.m. $5MVV247, 6ZFL262, excuse me. 8MCW533. Approaching what is Valencia Avenue and Sierra Avenue, and the state's fixed sun remaining over my head, moving north as I walk north. And again, on January 1st, 2022, where's the state's fixed sun? As I show you in video, as I'm showing you the state stalking by helicopter flying in front of me, which I showed through the windshield, and I hop out to show you the fake sun, speaking to that ongoing concerted action of stalking by the state, by aircraft, by helicopter, by directed light, and by a fake sun. I remain at 630 North Fern. While the Fontana Police Department and every other demon, including AT&T, US.333-636, license 64316E3, are group stalking in the path under what is direct evidence of terrorism and stalking with the government. 8HSX533. And that direct evidence is the state's fake sun that is over me in Fontana, at Valencia and Sierra. 1492505 Fontana Police. 8HZY252. 5ZRT951. 51332D1. 7RZX667. 8JJF762. 6RPC861. 8SGZ804. 8RCK732. 5SAH392. 8XUY264. This is an African-American male who was stalking, sitting in his vehicle at the corner, maintaining relevant positioning. All right, that's how the people engage in surveillance, as they are maintaining presence in the path. License plate 8BRS501, 8UTT164, 8WPB423. License plate 1622331, that's Coast Community Outreach and Support Team, is monitoring American citizens while Satan refers to itself under that compassionate phrase. It doesn't mean anything. They're group stalking. 7CXW313. License plate 7BJJ299. While they call themselves Community Outreach and Support Team, directed light and a fake sun over my head, which is terrorizing and life-threatening conduct. That is also sexually violent, okay? That's the P.O.C. You don't know them by what they call themselves. You know them by what they do. And it goes the same way with regard to what is the application of federal policy and a prosecution under federal law. License plate 6PZE334, 7NLR739. It's 10:19 a.m. (30426N2) DTONKAH 6ESB098 5GSV496 24615J1 88NX369 6NUD643 7WVZ398 8TEF264 8PKR447 73872K2 8LMT142 888-46E1 4FLY594 6MUD302 7ECS270 8DLP554 8LKH584 8BTJ084, and it is 10:20 a.m. I think I read this one. 7NLR739 8LJ8278 81724Y2 S7578 handicap 89112B3 7KRZ660 Fontana Police, group stalking again at the intersection of Arrow Boulevard and Sierra Avenue. So while I'm reading those license plates, they are group stalking by facing the opposite direction, stalking in relevant position under the fake sun. License 1452381. That's Fontana PD. 6RHU028. 7SHM981. License, let me see. Oh, this is group stalking. And again, it's 10:21 a.m. under the fake sun sitting at a stoplight. That's a demon in the position of law enforcement. That whole entire agency is demon possessed. That's why the fake sun was over that agency. So like I said, as I'm revealing criminal conduct, I'm revealing what are demon possessed criminals. They pose a very violent threat. They're closeted psychopaths, and not so closeted when you're looking at their pattern of conduct and the environment they're in. Aiming their communication device at me under the fake sun, monitoring with Fontana PD, ATCW 701. License 7LAH487, APAN 763, 8UZV393, 5VLU003, 683DG handicap, BS 67, I can't really see that one, V247JO. 65100W1, 8CLR327, and the demon of S7578 handicap. It's an old white man whose license plate I already read. 6X97777. Waits until I cross path. You heard that ignition? That was a demon stalking with audible activity. 8LHX112. Waiting for me to walk by, and then uses that as a means of audible activity while crossing paths simultaneously, while a fake sun is over my head. While Fontana PD are also group stalking in the path at the red light, which the state is controlling the lights as a means of relevant positioning, by the way. And you have, what is this demon of ATCW 701 in relevant position monitoring as well. They are lining the path as I'm walking up the street, okay? While outwardly conducting themselves as though he's concerned with something. He's packing up his car, he's looking all around in his passenger seat, and he starts his ignition as I walk by. That's the demonic behavioral pattern. 7AGA405, stalking with audible activities. 8TCW 701 exits out of third-party facilitating venue, the Fontana loan and jewelry loan, I believe, right here at the corner of Arrow Boulevard and Sierra, while monitoring, okay? This fat-faced African-American female, okay, she has a couple demons in her. She's got room for it. 8TCW 701, group stalking and monitoring. License right behind them, sitting in their car as well, 8UVX905, a whole bunch of demons lined up on the street, okay? Fontana PD is monitoring with these demons who are lining the path. License plate, BG36LO1, paper 8EMV974, 7LND182, 1387136 Omnitrans, 056LZ handicap, 6CRB766, 7PQA095. 8B73690. And I'll tell you why I take pictures of these demons close up. This is a fat, overweight, neon yellow shirt with a predator getting inside of her passenger side of her car. He's got a nose ring in his right nostril. He's got on a green and white striped shirt, coming out of the same venue in relevant position. This is nothing but the chiropractor's office, where the state places his fake son next to me, patrolling in and out of what's supposed to be something distinct and separate from relation and concern about you, while it's in relevant position, and it is a means of loitering in the path while a fake son is over your head. That's how you're stripping down what are psychopaths that are stalking you with the government. And this demon gets in the passenger side of this fat-faced Latina who's wearing a neon green shirt, who was stalking in the vehicle with license plate 8UVX905 at the same venue, located at 8510 Sierra Avenue, pulling off at what is 10:24 a.m. with directed light. 7RQC461. Again, this is called Fontana Jewelry and Loan, a facilitating venue, okay? Located at 8510 Sierra Avenue in Fontana, California. 8BRK061, 6XBT226. And that is, let me get these license plates over here. DLP770. United States Postal Service group stalking at the light. 7ZAG427 AT&T. USPS vehicle number 9209850. 6VZB746, 6NIU550. And the state's fake sun is right here above the street sign, as I've specifically showed you in video and in still images, while these demons cross path all around me at the intersection of Sierra Avenue, in direct light and under the fake sun that's right over my head, okay? Fontana Jewelry and Loan documented as a facilitating venue where demons are using that as a means of stalking and loitering in the path. Oh, I'm going into the venue, I'm going to pawn me a gold bracelet, whatever those demons call it, doesn't matter, it's relevant positioning. And this is the absence of any form by psychopaths who are stalking with the the government systematically. And you look up in the sky and the fake sun is over you, and it is not over 630 North Fern. All right, this African American, he's a stalker, license WH8461F. That looks like a Michigan license plate. I don't know, it's silver with black lettering. And directed light while that black-faced Negro crosses path with me, okay? Demon possession and stalking with the government has nothing to do with your race. All right, they're demons alike. That's what they have in common. All right, they're demon-possessed stalkers, and they're stalking on behalf of the government. That's what they have in common. 7ZAG427, 7JIL499, 7FEL764, 7CLM576, 7XKV777. That's audible activity and directed light 8XNM340, 7RRP397, 8GJS331. Alrighty, and so let me be clear with regard to, I've mentioned this before, and that's why I specifically mentioned black-faced, demon-possessed stalkers. All right, that's what Eric Corey Spencer is. Okay, he's as black as night, and I could say that he's African-American, he's black, and I know that demon by name only. Okay, you're talking about monitoring me for years, engaging in sexual violence, demonic activity. All right, demon possession doesn't run in the blood. All right, so engaging in the P.O.C. with Tracy Banks, another black stalker, has nothing to do with Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, demon possession by Fontana PD 1475330. And those black-faced demon-possessed stalkers are monitoring with the police. They're demons that are engaging in criminal conduct together. This is not a Black Lives Matter movement. That is not what law enforcement are doing. Law enforcement is engaging in what is a satanic targeting system. Black Lives Matter is a narrative. Guess what? And it is promoted by what are the people of the state. Yes, people have died, and guess what? People have died by what is supposedly COVID-19 as well. You have people like rappers such as Young Dolph, and it's supposedly people that are dying by senseless murders. And what I'm saying is, while being sympathetic to the notion of death, all right, that's unfortunate, but I want to be clear, this is a government system that is not merely in California, and these are false narratives to detract you from what the government is doing in the United States. 6SPN055 monitoring. And let me be clear, Black Lives Matter, if that was actually the case, and let me be clear, in California, there is no, we're pretty much at the top with regard to enforcing our rights, with regard to racial equality and all of these. Let me be clear, this has nothing to do with race. Monitoring by the government, it is that which is demonic. And let me be clear, demons want to distract you with race issues, okay? That which is, they are not concerned with anything to get you focused on the exterior, anything to get you focused on the outer shell, anything to separate you amongst your humanity. Understand that when what is really at issue is what of the demonic. 6UMA470, another black-faced demon monitoring with the police, okay? License 7KSF149. It has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Nothing. Nothing to do with that. 8TCF447, 7WVZ7614, 4YEN884, 8PMG674, 8VOA854, 9G01265, 3070V handicap. All of them demons, all of them. When I'm showing you what is a black face, an African American, in other words, okay? And I'm stressing that, and I'm putting into those specific terms because you need to understand it. That's exactly what they are. That's what they look like on the outside. Their condition that is of demon possession you cannot physically see, and their race has nothing to do with that. It's their spiritual makeup. They are diseased in the spirit. They're handicapped in the spirit, okay? You have what is infection in the spirit, and that's demon possession. All right, 7LCPO76, and guess what? They're monitoring with law enforcement, who in the natural wants you to look at that dynamic as what is one that is in the position of law enforcement that are targeting those of a specific race. All right, and then guess what? Guess who's claiming that? Guess who's claiming that? Engaging in conduct together. All right. Yes, you're talking about stuff that has gone to the extreme. People have died. People have taken beatings. You're talking about what is very unpopular with regard to what I'm revealing to you. But the facts speak for itself. And with regard to what are facts that you are witnessing, because that's not the sun. This is what is tying demons together. That's not the sun, and that's also not sunlight. While a black-faced demon crosses path with me, the same way that a white-faced demon is crossing path with me, showing the same hostility, engaging in the same exact criminal elements, under what is the same exact fake sun that is not also over Memphis, Tennessee at the same time. It's remaining right over me in the state of California, where the government is monitoring American citizens, and it has nothing to do with a Black Lives Matter narrative. Nothing. Okay, that is a distraction. As unpopular as this argument is, I'm letting you know that's what the facts are. That is fact. That's what the pattern of conduct reveals. The P.O.C. by the state of California, the government, has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with your economic status. Understand, I'm a black woman. I've been monitored by those who are of every race that you can fathom. I'm in California. And not only that, you're talking about monitoring me and harassing me while I'm practicing law. Okay, while I have achieved that level in America, and now also while I am now homeless, that has nothing. It has nothing to do with your economic status or your race. These are demons. It's demonic. Okay, their focus is spiritual. I am the exception because I do not serve Satan. I'm going to prosecute Satan. I'm going to drag every last one of their demons, Satan's minions in court. I'm going to draw that supernatural into the natural, into a courtroom and prosecute it. And show it to be the sex offender, the psychopath, the demented stalker that Satan is, as it's operating over the government, operating over a people, engaging in what is criminal under existing federal law and that which shall be enforced against it. That's what this is, demons. That's what the Fontana Police Department continue to exhibit. Crossing path again. License 5FYT312. And the Fontana PD, they're monitoring with black-faced demons, brown-faced demons, white-faced demons. You can call it whatever they want. They're demons all alike, and they're monitoring one together. 6NUE451, 7XKT513, 6UYY138, 8KXB362, 8GKT991, 8NJV108. This is federal policy. This is documentation that is demon-proof. All right, you don't have any legal argument. The government is monitoring, and that pattern of conduct is firmly established. All right, for all to witness. You can look at it with your own eyes. All right, 7CXB622, 6898483. And it is currently 10:32 a.m. We're African-American demon-possessed stalkers that are not engaged in anything that has anything to do with Black Lives Matter being targeted by law enforcement. Law enforcement are targeting those where they are of demon possession. They're targeting as a government directly. The people of the state of all races are targeting American citizens with law enforcement. All right, and you're talking about what is a distraction as a narrative, Black Lives Matter. All right, that is that which is designed to slice apart the human race by race, to distract you. All right, that's what demons do. 7JGJ274, another black-faced demon-possessed stalker. License 7CXB622, 642LPV, 7WJY485, 5WUC216, 6AWT278, 1568, 717, City of Fontana. All of them creating a rainbow of directed light, demons. License plate. 4WEH356. As they listen to me tell the truth about them, all right, their secrets are no more. You're talking about what are lies that are offered to you by the very people of the state, demons, offered to you by those who are reporting the news, demons, those who are in the position of influence to exercise power, in doing so while public corruption is underway, demons. All right, doing so by the people of the state themselves, claiming they're being targeted by law enforcement with whom they are monitoring and stalking, engaging in demonic activity, in other words, targeting others with them. Demons. They're coming out of the mouth of demons. 5YDB709, 8GPF495, coming out of the mouth of demons. All right, what is unpopular? I'm going to tell you what's unpopular. The notion of what is COVID-19. Guess who's claiming they're sick and everybody's dying? These corrupt, I have shown you what is corrupt. I've documented, literally trying to artificially engineer a criminal case against me because I'm documenting this, which is absolutely lawful and it is necessary, and it's going to result in what is the federal prosecution and the creation of policy, because this is what the government is doing in the U.S. But you're talking about what is corruption by medical workers, by medical physicians, 8UX H577, 7BYC961, 7YOL270. They can hop on TV. They're pushing a narrative. They are distracting from what is Satan's agenda. He's using people. He's using the government while they're engaging and focusing on technology for whatever reason. I'm not jumping into the depths of that, what the reasoning behind it. It's nothing but twisted and absolutely demented while they are monitoring with communication devices. That's what I do know. All right, what they're doing is it's criminal. It is stalking. And it's stalking via interstate commerce, all right, using communication devices, crossing state lines with regard to doing it on behalf of a government, using commercial actors and demons such as what is 6WKC499, 6XRW704, 8UTX904, 7BKY738. All right, so it is stalking while the government is doing it, stalking via interstate commerce, using communication devices, crossing state lines, using commercial actors such as UPS, Amazon Prime, Metrolink, Amtrak, Union Pacific, Southwest Airlines. You're talking about what are those who are engaging in interstate commerce as a matter of what they do as a business while they are systematically monitoring with the government, the state of California. All right, that's applicable to existing federal law. While what is actually underway, this is demonic activity. All of it is. But you are able to pin that demonic activity to what is criminal. All right, 7MZC036, 5TJD818, 1419548, County of San Bernardino, 56953U2, alone towing. They're going to be alone at federal prosecution. They don't have a legal argument. 50323Z2, 8JJD 609. So with regard to being unpopular, you're talking about what are the claims of demons. All right, claiming COVID-19, sickness and death, reporting numbers. Guess who's doing that? Guess who's doing it in concert with the government? 8FED 743, the people of the state. All right, the claims of medical physicians. Demons, 8GGV 816. All right, you're talking about what is an agenda, a demonic agenda. 8BKM 218, CFN 0105, 7CMT 123, U5177C4, Black Lives Matter. That's a narrative pushed by who? Who are dying? The people of the state of California are engaging in what is conduct with the government, with law enforcement. That's what I'm documenting when Tracy Banks engages in criminal summoning. She's monitoring. Eric Corey Spencer, he is a blackface demon whose name I know, monitoring with law enforcement. Okay, those are demons that are monitoring together. I've seen it up close and personal. Okay, and then on the other hand, getting on what is any other platform available and claiming Black Lives Matter, claiming you're being targeted by law enforcement, and they're demons that are monitoring and targeting together, creating a narrative in the natural, engaging in demonic activity together. 8DLR371. All right, that is the P.O.C. Then that's what I've documented. 7KYU112, 6RMG924. All right, and you are talking about all of that, which is directly relevant. City of Fontana loitering a relevant position at learner. I've already shown you the fake sun over those demons representing the municipality, where the state's fake sun was in at the front of the library, where it never is because I walked through the entrance to the Fontana Chamber of Commerce parking lot. They're group stalking, creating light activity while I'm documenting these demons. 4YHA955, 7TZU769, 7DDH900, 7BYB513. 8RYL283, 8K89-172, 8LLE723, 8MPC659, 7TA1, I can't see that one, 4YML680, 7JWR780, 8T72372, 8LZR673, 7KLG854, 7KCZ242. All of them demons, 5SYN874. That's why directed light is coming up, reaching across the street where they're driving north on Sierra Avenue. Directed light, lines of directed light on the signage of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce, while the demons of the city of Fontana are creating light activity, using flashing lights on those utility vehicles. They've been loitering the entire time, where I'm telling you about what are blackface, demon-possessed stalkers, monitoring with law enforcement, who in the natural, where you do not know that they are demon-possessed, where you do not know that they are having a spokesperson for Satan itself, engaging in an agenda, a demonic one in the United States, where monitoring with communication devices is underway. This is conduct by an entity. 6RGB109, pushing false narratives. 7SGS269, 8UJN628, 46265U1, I think I read that one. 7PQE220, 7YZS605, 7BMX664, 8685583, 7LTC754. Okay, you're talking about what is distracting. Let me be clear. The demon-possessed are interested in distracting those who are ignorant as to the spiritual reality all around them, as to what are the methods employed by a corrupt government that is engaging in satanic monitoring, satanic targeting of American citizens, all right? And so this is where you have what is that which is evokes emotion, all right? Race, you're talking about being targeted based upon your race. This is that which evokes emotion and understandably, okay? I get it. And you're talking about what is being a black woman and being pulled over before, not knowing that the government was monitoring me, all right? Just being upset by the fact that I'm pulled over and not knowing why, because I know that I didn't do anything wrong, and they did not, and because I also know the law, they didn't have any reasonable suspicion to pull me over. All right, and so they pull me over and make up information while they go. Now, in hindsight, and the third-party group stalking, demon-possessed stalker who was with me, you're talking about what is the big picture now, okay? You're talking about what is monitoring, again, with a black-faced demon-possessed stalker who you cannot see that demon possession physically on their person. They are monitoring and targeting with law enforcement, while those demons in the natural who know that you cannot physically see their demon possession are pushing false narratives, are distracting you with false narratives, such that they are targeting African-American male. That African-American male, Joshua Kayam, what's his last name? I forgot that demon's name, thank goodness. 8NWN581, group stalking in the parking lot with a fake sun is over me. Joshua, John, I'm laughing because I'm so glad I forgot it. He's so insignificant, and he was a weirdo, and now I know why he was demon possessed. I was discerning it, and I did not know what I was discerning though, but I knew that he was weird. But I just accepted. I'm a very accepting person, and I was just like, okay, well, he's just a little weird. That's fine. It's okay. Nothing weird where it's like I thought it was, something that I should not be around, that was some sort of threat or something like dangerous or something that is like unacceptable. Just weird personally. I saw little stuff that he would do when when people don't realize that you're paying attention, and it was very peculiar, the ways in which, and what I'm stating is that I'm discerning what was demon possession before I realized that was demon possession. All right, but I've been discerning this for a very long time, and so Joshua Quaid, that's that demon's name, Joshua Khayyam Quaid, monitoring with the Riverside Police Department. And you're talking about what is on an African-American male, a demon-possessed stalker, monitoring, targeting an American citizen with law enforcement. While on the outside, they will claim they're being targeted by law enforcement based on their race. 1281581. City of Fontana, crossing path. 153916. City of Fontana, crossing path. All right. In the reality, what I'm showing you is the pattern of conduct. It has nothing to do with race. They're demons. They are the demon possessed. And this entire corrupt system is being revealed in all the ways in which you are talking about what is the song and dance of Satan. Satan is tap dancing in front of your face, distracting you with all of these false narratives, getting you to focus on what's over there, what's down yonder, as opposed to what you should be focusing on. And the government is monitoring American citizens. And all you have to do is look up in the sky, because what I'm showing you is going on in California, in Southern California, in San Bernardino County, in a specific city over me. In addition to that, for the duration of every day, you're talking about what is to the exclusion of every other state. Now, how is that revealing of what's going on around you? Because it's not only California that's monitoring American citizens. And where federal group stalking and monitoring is ongoing, you're talking about what is satanic. Demonic activity is prevalent. The demon-possessed surround. It is relevant to everyday life. Everyday life. All right? 7MLH719. And it is affecting you whether you know it or not. 7XUS 604. 7FFW134. 2491972, 7JVN 671, 7MBP 866, 8CRY 411, 7TJS 445, 5MIM 091, 8FUH 974, 8BKF 706. And again, the State's Fake Sun is right here over the Fontana Lewis Library. And I am here at 10:44 a.m. The State's Fake Sun was here at a later time, as I showed you as I arrived after 11:30. All right, 1044, I'm showing you where I'm getting off the 10 freeway. We're in Fontana going to the Inland Empire Center Shopping Center. I'm showing you what is as we go to the Circle K. I arrive at the library after this time. It's 10:44 a.m. The State's Fake Sun is present because I am here. Not only that, on January 1st, 2022, I don't come anywhere near the city of Fontana. I remain on the street in the car at the top portion at the intersection of G Street and Fern, where the state kept its fake sun all day long, like you saw on video. 8WVR171, 8FUH, I think I read those already. And so what I'm getting to is, first of all, the State's Fake Sun is, like I already stated, the demons that are patrolling by in vehicles, identified as the Fontana Police Department. Their state facilitating venue is right here across on the opposite side of this waterfall of the Fontana Lewis Library, and they are monitoring at their state facilitating venue as well. All right, license plate, 7MBP866 is now crossing path. They are monitoring as well, and the State's Fake Sun is here because I am here. That is speaking to an ongoing operation, a comprehensive one. All right, it is currently, like I said, 10:45 a.m. at the Fontana Lewis Library. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:46 a.m. I just want to document while I sit at the outside in front of the entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library. As I do so, the state maintaining an environment sounding sirens, which is amplified audible activity in what is engineered light under what is a fake sun at 10:47 a.m., which is still here. And this is the light activity which the state is creating while I am here. And you're talking about what is, first of all, not going to be present even if the sun was over the sky space, which would not be hovering over the building of the Fontana Lewis Library. But also, it is not going to coexist where I'm showing you the state's fake sun isn't even physically over this location yet, right? We're still en route heading to this. And on the 1st, I was nowhere even in the city of Fontana. So you're talking about light activity that's not going to exist at all where the fake sun is hovering over Fern Avenue over the vehicle. Okay, and remaining for the entire day. Second of all, as I sit down, you have the maintenance of an environment while the entity sounds sirens, which is audible activity, while being surrounded with engineered light under a fake sun. And I want to document that at 10:46 a.m., the moment that I sat down in front of the entrance area. And that is the audible activity also by the same entity in directed light last night. The Ontario Police Department, the Ontario Fire Department, American Medical Response, they are doing nothing but stalking me, stalking with audible activity, and stalking with directed light while the fake sun remains over me. This is all consumption with the target individual, that is myself, who happens to be documenting that terrorizing, stalking conduct by an entire entity. And that is what is revealed by virtue of a fake sun. All right, everything that you are doing is focused on me, and you are also a demon-possessed terrorist while you are stalking directly and vicariously. Everything that you're doing is about me and where I am as I am doing it, wherever it is that I am doing it, whatever I'm doing. And while I'm doing whatever I'm doing in a private space, that's revealing you as the sex offender that you are as well, because they continue that ongoing surveillance and real-time knowledge and joint stalking activity both inside and all around the bathroom. It is currently 10:48 a.m. P.O.C. All right, first of all, the demon with license plate 24919Z2. I already read this license plate as I was approaching the venue of Fontana Lewis Library where the state's fake sun hovered over my head up until, and remains over the building right now. And it is still before the time that I arrived yesterday. 8ECY413 is pacing around in the parking lot. That is also, as I've shown you, that directed light coexists with their stalking in the path in that regard. This demon with license 2491972 is in relevant position by virtue of being present inside of the venue of the Fontana Lewis Library. They're in directed light and under a fake sun. She uses her vehicle, which is parked in the parking lot in the front of the parking lot, to stalk in the path. So she is sitting in her car, which is in direct alignment with me where I'm sitting at the entrance area. She is group stalking. She crosses paths with her communication device, by the way, and does so walking to her car, which is her method of stalking in the path right now and has remained. And since she exited, this is approximately 5 minutes ago. So I just want to document what is stalking in the path. And that's what this group stalker is doing. And this is how the government engages in that stalking activity. She just exits the venue of Fontana where she's engaging in stalking, waiting for me to enter. And as I sit outside instead, and I'm talking about the sirens, I'm talking about what is the ongoing analysis, she exits to sit in the parking lot, which is in direct alignment with where I'm sitting in front of the entrance of the library. That's group stalking. While doing so with the communication device monitoring while minions are pacing all around in the parking lot, on the grounds of the Miller Amphitheater, pacing in and out of the entrance of the library, also with their communication devices, they're systematically monitoring. These are demons. It's 10:57 a.m. P.O.C. FedEx crossing path in the parking lot, monitoring with 2491972 at 10:58 a.m. Monitoring with the rest of them, but that particular demon goes out to sit in her car to stalk in direct alignment with me where I'm sitting. That's amplified audible activity while the demon stalks in the path 2491972. It's audible activity while a demon walks by and monitoring with 2491972. The state is also sounding plane activity. Let me be clear. They are monitoring with communication devices. The Fontana Police Department is in relevant position, monitoring with them. Pay attention to the plane activity. This is what the state is doing at the B&G Plaza. This is what the state is doing at 630 North Fern. This is what the state is doing at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. This is what the state is doing at the the Stater Brothers parking lot, the Ontario Village Shopping Center. Plane activity. It's audible activity. Monitoring with 2491972. Directed light, which is absolutely impossible light, while another demon with license 4JHM. Hold on, what's this license plate? License plate 4JHT149, while another one walks out of the entrance of the library, right past me, 4JJH149. Parks in the parking lot in a blue Mustang. Directed light appears in the shade on this little tiled wall where they have a water fountain, like a little river. It's a fake little fountain river in front. That's a method of stalking with light. Monitoring with 2491972. That's an old white man in a button-down shirt with a white T-shirt under it, blue jeans. He's wearing, he's got a lanyard hanging with his white mask and black tennis shoes. They're New Balances. He's going to walk into the entrance of the library. He's monitoring while he's crossing path, monitoring with the demons who are crossing path in the parking lot, including 8SLV458, and monitoring with the demon that stalks in the path, getting in her car to maintain perfect alignment with me, 2491972. It is 11:01 a.m. And they're entering on camera inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. PAZ 962, the same conduct, directed light, while they are crossing path in a parking lot. All right, monitoring with 2491972. That is the demon that got out of 5 PAZ 962, directed light, and that is audible activity while he is crossing path, monitoring with 2491972. I want you to get away from me.
Oh, okay. I was just saying hello.
That's audible activity and coming in close quarters to monitor with 2491972.
Check out that music too. The music by that blue tape. I think you would have really liked the music.
That's a demon creating audible activity. It is 11:03 a.m. 2491972, crossing path, directed light occurs, and again, this is a Latina female wearing a black hoodie and tights with skulls all over her tights, and she has been remaining in the parking lot, and as she moves her vehicle, leaving from that parking space, directed light, the same exact conduct, okay? It is 11:04 a.m. License 7D73727, I believe, while another demon exits the Fontana Lewis Library. Let me get the correct license plate of this one. Parking where 2491972 was. 7D. And that's relevant with regard to what is crossing the path and stalking in the path. That's what that is. 7D hold on, can't see it. 7DZZ327, I believe. Yeah, 7DZZ327 in a red Kia Soul communication device in relevant position. Direct the light as they park in the spot. It's ongoing concerted activity. One crosses path, another parks, directed light, the fake sun is over. It's the exact same P.O.C. It's 11:10 a.m. This is a demon with a black backpack, communication device in his left hand. He's carrying a manila folder. He's putting a black face mask on his face, wearing black tennis shoes, dark blue jeans, and a black jacket. He's standing at the entrance, just listening to me document him while he's keeping his back to me. He's stalking in the path and entering right now at 11:10 a.m. on surveillance cameras. He is tracking my movement as I walk back to my seat, maintaining alignment with me. That's a group stalker. It's 11:10 a.m. There's an African-American male at 11:12 a.m. He has on a white t-shirt. He has on hair like the Predator. He's got short dreads. He exits out of the entrance. Another white male with a black pleather jacket on enters inside of the entrance. These are demons that are pacing. Doing so while directed light appears in the shade, again, in front of me, where I'm sitting at the seating area in front of the front entrance of Fontana Lewis Library, and they're monitoring on my phone, trying to close the app while I document their pacing conduct in and out of the entrance. All right, the one that is identified with the blue Mustang, with the blue button-up shirt and the white t-shirt, the blue jeans, exiting. The minion with the camouflage pants, he's got tan camouflage, a black pleather jacket with a gray hoodie under it, a black face mask, black and white tennis shoes, a black cap on his head. He is the one that's entering while the African-American is exiting, while directed light and they are together monitoring, trying to close down my app while I'm documenting them on podcast. All right, these are the demons that are engaging in the what is interstate stalking, monitoring with communication devices, interruption of the operation of my phone while they know that I'm documenting them, pacing in and out of the entrance on camera while doing so. That is the impossible audible activity in the background of a train. All right, that would be attributed to Metrolink, which you cannot hear at the entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library. It is 11:13 a.m. Demons are patrolling in the parking lot while Metrolink is a means of audible activity while they do so. By the way, that African-American male with the white t-shirt on, he goes through what is the side entrance that goes into the parking garage, and I believe there are cameras where that elevator area is going down to that parking garage area. All right, absolute psychopaths targeting together, monitoring on communication devices. And that is the same entity engaging in obstruction of justice while they're engaged in the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking. It is 11:14 a.m. All right, monitoring on my phone while the state is sending plane activity over me. This is a paper plate of a silver BMW, BM57W11, and the VIN number is WBAWV13538P120917. And this is a group stalker who is stalking in the path as I come from the parking garage area. The state's fake sun is right here over my head as I stand behind his vehicle. Engineered light, that is literally the shape of the vehicle appearing in what is orange radiant light. I've shown you this in substantial video and pictures. They are stalking in the path and monitoring on my phone. So that is closing up the app itself, stopping it from operation. So I clear the cache and it operates as normal. That's not a malfunction. That's what monitoring is. This is a paper plate representing the people of the state monitoring on communication devices with the state. Where the fake sun is over my head, they're stalking in the path in engineered light, and the state is sounding plane engines. BM57W11 paper. Pacing 8WVR171 and 8WVZ134. And that is, by the way, a African-American male wearing a blue cap, sitting in that BMW, monitoring me on my phone in operation of his communication device, trying to obstruct documentation and the prosecution of the entity, which is the pattern of conduct. 8SLV458, 8UJG808, BL20A00, that's paper. All right, I just want to make sure I get all of these. 8CRY411 that are in the parking lot in case there's any new ones. 8WVZ, yeah, I read that one already. 7TJS445, I think I read that one. 7TTV8497YFG758, I believe I read that one. And, let's see, 8UCY303. And this demon in a commercial truck, license 8Y80843. And has no logo on it, directed light on the ground while they cross paths. Yeah, that's 8Y80843, and this is the same demon. They're driving with hazard lights on, and they're the same demon that crossed path as I exit the parking garage area. They're stalking in the path as I exit. All they did was drive around in a circle. They're patrolling, and they're doing so while the state is moving a fake sun over me as I walk around and get those license plates. All of them together are monitoring, trying to block the ability to document on my podcast, and that's why it's repeatedly crashing. And so you clear the cache. They're monitoring with communication devices, so you clear the cache. There are ways to get around that, but that's criminal. They're stalking and they're engaging in interstate stalking, 6BPW090, and they're doing so on behalf of the government, while Satan thinks they're going to avoid a prosecution, and they're not. I'm documenting them on surveillance cameras as well. It's P.O.C. It is 11:32 a.m. All right, entering the venue of Fontana Lewis Library, which is engaged in surveillance. This is a state facilitating venue where the state's fake sun remains for the duration of the day. It is 11:32 a.m. where I'll be seen on surveillance cameras entering the venue now. All right, what I want to document is obstruction of justice by the same third parties who I identified by license plate while they are literally engaging in the criminal system as I identify them, engaging in an ongoing, they're engaging in monitoring with communication devices as I identify them. That is what is stalking in the path is pursuant to. That's why the state's fake sun and engineered light surrounds. And I want to include on this podcast that which the entity sought to obstruct publishing, and as I identified the African American who was wearing the blue cap stalking at the in the parking lot after I have exited the parking garage, and I documented all of the license plates that were present inside of that parking garage area, including Allison Mechanical, who was stalking in the parking lot on the exterior of that parking garage. I then enter that parking garage area and I walk through and I document the license plates. So this is documentation which I completed at the timestamp is 11:27 a.m. and that includes the documentation of what is the Fontana Police Department, who were engaging in loitering with the city of Fontana at the water fountain area, which is directly across where near the state facilitating venue of the Fontana Police Department. You have what is a demon in the Fontana Police Department vehicle using their brake lights. They're keeping their foot on the brake, which is a method of light, while they are stopped at the water fountain area in perfect alignment with where I was sitting at the front entrance area of the Fontana Lewis Library. And while I'm identifying what are demons, an entire family of demons she had on, this was a Latina female with a pink sweater. She had her hair, I would say gray hair, gray, white hair, and she had a young child with her that had a blue jacket on and dark blue jeans, two other tweenies, they look like they're maybe 12, 13 years old, and an older Latina female who had her hair back in a ponytail. She had on tan shoes, blue jeans, and she had on a teal top. I identified all of these group stalkers. They were monitoring in operation of their communication device while the state was sounding train activity attributed to Metrolink, while the demons were pacing in the parking lot, and the demons of the Fontana Police Department and the city of Fontana were in perfect alignment, stalking in the parking lot area by the water fountain, which is where the driveway entrance for the Fontana Police Department is. I documented all of this on podcast before I went into the parking garage, and I documented all of the license plates inside of that parking garage, including an HR staff member who drives a dark colored Tesla, which is substantially similar to what is GND Heart GRL, substantially similar. This is a Tesla that was plugged up, charging inside of the parking garage area. This is an HR staff member. This is also documenting what is Allison Mechanical, who was outside of that parking garage, and the truck that I identify driving by me in the parking lot after I have exited the parking garage, and they are driving by in a commercial truck as I identify it, directed light on the ground, and you hear me laughing. I'm speaking to that because that is the demon that, as I spoke to in that podcast, is crossing path as I exit the parking garage. All right, understand what they are doing as I'm speaking to what I am recalling. They are monitoring in real time, and that is what is obstruction of justice. And I will take a screenshot of what was the timestamp of 11:27 a.m. after I have documented all of the minions who are also documented on surveillance cameras, those who are at work, those who are present, engaging in services at the library. This is ongoing surveillance by the state, and the state engaging in obstruction of justice, including the Fontana Police Department, who are engaging in that visible act of terrorism, listening to everything that I'm documenting while engaging in that ongoing criminal conduct, and also demonstrating the fact that they are dangerous psychopaths. They are demon possessed while they're engaging in interstate stalking with the people of the state, inclusive of those who are under the age of majority, also the people of the state who are engaging in the pattern of conduct with the government, including those who are under the age of majority. This is information that I documented in this time on my podcast with the timestamp of 11:27 a.m. This is right before what I documented at 11:35 a.m. Understand this. This is obstruction while the entity sought to, as I am identifying the African American in the BMW, he is stalking at the corner after I have just completed that aspect of that documentation. Let me be clear. The Fontana Police Department, as I stated at that time, while they were stalking in the path, stalking right in front of me at the water fountain area in the parking lot, while demons were patrolling in front of me, and Metrolink is a means of audible activity, and they are in directed light, which and the fake sun is over the Fontana Lewis Library. I also mentioned the fact that the Fontana Police Department engaged in the same exact surveillance and ongoing knowledge and monitoring with communication devices while I am inside of the private space with my panties down, engaging and monitoring me, and engaged in that sexually violent pattern of conduct. It is the exact same P.O.C. that is ceaselessly underway, and that is also what I identified in that podcast, because that is the reality of what the Fontana Police Department are doing while they are stalking in the path. They were doing so visibly as I was sitting outside in front of the entrance area of the Fontana Lewis Library, and them, as well as the city of Fontana in a municipality vehicle, are loitering in relevant position in perfect alignment with me where I was sitting and doing so. And then I get up and I go to the parking garage. Like I said, that is documentation of what is obstruction of justice. Documenting on my podcast is not the only means of documentation. The identity of the venue is by virtue documenting every single last person who was on the clock working here. They're monitoring and engaging in stalking and ceaselessly engaged in sexual violence while engaging in that pattern of conduct on behalf of the government. And in addition to that, you have what is the state that is acting directly and vicariously on a ceaseless basis at this venue, where again I was drawing that contrast. The state is present with its fake sun over this venue. And on January 1st, 2022, you're going to remember I'm staying in the city of Ontario on a specific street, at a specific portion of that street in Ontario, and the state kept its fake sun over me all day long. That is the direct evidence against the demons that constitute the Fontana Police Department, who are engaging in that act of terrorism, as I documented it with the timestamp of 11:27, where this entity engaged in obstruction of justice, which is also the evidence of monitoring with communication devices while that psychopath sex offending stalker is monitoring the documentation. Okay, and so I want to be clear with that. And also, upon my entrance of the Fontana Lewis Library, the windows, the blinds are open. The state is aiming directed light, touching all over the floors inside of the venue, while these demons are stalking with noise in that engineered light. That's exactly what you hear. That is amplified, and that is the creation of audible activity in engineered light while the state's fake sun is over the Fontana Lewis Library, while the state's directed light is touching all over the floors inside. And again, while the state is keeping that which is not the sun over me in the city of Ontario on a specific street, and again, this is just one illustration, one example, you are talking about what is not going to be light activity that's going to ever occur under any circumstances anyway, where you're talking about light that is horizontally aimed into the windows in order to touch on the surfaces, touching the floor. That is the directed light that is present while demons are systematically monitoring with noise, focusing on you, stalking in the path, engaging in that facilitating conduct where the Fontana Police Department are ceaselessly engaged in P.O.C. as well. Okay, so I want to document that. That is what I captured, and the entity engaging in the futility of trying to obstruct that. And this is evidence of what is obstruction of justice, going to the intensity of that federal prosecution and what is the grounds of federal prison. Again, the Fontana Police Department engaged in kidnapping, documented as such, engaging in what is a federal stalking with those who are under the age of 18, which I referenced with regard to the minions identified with the third-party facilitating venue Sunrise Church, who I know by name. That is Charles Kelly with his children who are driving his vehicle. And this is May 22nd, 2019, after documenting what was kidnapping by this entity. And you have what is the Fontana Police Department at that time, again, engaging and targeting me while they were monitoring, and doing so by virtue of what is a traffic stop where they have no legal authority whatsoever. They were monitoring and then using that unlawfully obtained information information, knowing exactly where I'm at, knowing exactly what I'm doing, and then using what is the legal doctrine of what is reasonable suspicion while they actually have none. All right. Monitoring with the demons of the Kelly family. That is what I'm speaking to while that demon of the Fontana Police Department is stalking in the parking lot of the Fontana Lewis Library. This is all relevant, again, as I continuously document that. And that is also tethered into what the Fontana Police Department are doing while I am physically indisposed, genitalia exposed, subject to this ongoing surveillance and stalking inside of the private space. Okay, and so 12:46 p.m., everything that is ongoing is serving the ongoing criminal elements. These are demons that surround. It is an entirely demented conduct of monitoring with communication devices, and that is ongoing terrorism while the state's fake sun remains over this venue. And again, as I'm showing you at 4:27 p.m., which is also, you're also going to remember where I was at 4:27 p.m. in Ontario at 630 North Fern, where I'm showing you what is the maintenance of the fake sun in alignment with me and directed light inside of this venue. While I arrive here in the morning, the state's fake sun is that is documentation of otherwise of what is maintaining a fake sun in one city over one venue. That is the Fontana Lewis Library, which is not the conduct of the sun. That is not the sun whatsoever. And that is speaking to what the Fontana Police Department are engaging in. The city of Fontana is engaged in. Allison Mechanics, engaging in obstruction of justice, trying to then block the ability to publish that life-threatening criminal conduct by the entirety of that entity. It is currently 12:47 p.m. I will be publishing my podcast in addition to my in addition to what is the video documentation, and onto both my YouTube channel and onto my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. This is P.O.C. It's 3:49 p.m. A couple of things. First of all, I remain at state facilitating venue, the Fontana Lewis Library, and a demonic environment where terrorism is underway, monitoring on behalf and stalking on behalf of the government. This is a facilitating venue where demons are maintaining presence inside of the venue, engaging in literally surveillance. They are all sitting around, walking around, doing whatever it is that they're doing, focused on me. And that is why I'm able to capture what is absolutely impossible light activity, not only in the computer lab, but also as I walk back in, and the directed light that you see spread on the floor in front of what is the window space that is facing the street, which is Sierra Avenue. You need to understand what that is. First of all, the state is aiming light horizontally through the windows that are facing Arrow Boulevard, which is impossible light activity, while the state's fake sun is over the venue. The state moves it over to the parking lot area as I go to the Miller Amphitheater area, which again is deviation from what the state has been routinely engaging in. There is no getting out of under any circumstances. It is nonetheless a fake sun that is in the city of Fontana and does not coexist with remaining over my head, remaining over the car for the duration of the day, just like I vividly illustrated on January 1st, 2022. Moreover, it is important to recognize, though, that's a deviation as the state keeps it routinely over the roof of the Fontana the Fontana Lewis Library, which I continuously scrutinize. And so you're talking about what is, first of all, going to be over the sky space, and that's not going to result under any circumstances as what is directed light, because that's not sunlight that's spreading across the floor into the computer labs on the building that are supposedly underneath the sun, okay? That none of that light activity is going to exist. And second of all, I've also shown you what is directed light that is at the window areas in the library, in the depths of the library, on that where that street is facing Sierra Avenue, at that end of the library, the opposite end of where I enter the library, and that is facing Sierra Avenue. And understand that that is not sunlight either, as you are understand what the state is doing. This is what is supposedly the sun, right? Which it's not. You're understanding that, but this is supposedly the sun, and you have what is light that is coming in from both angles. That would be coming from the windows facing Arrow Boulevard, which Arrow Boulevard runs east and west. So the windows that are facing what are south, you've got directed light coming through those, and the windows that are along Sierra Avenue, which Sierra Avenue runs north and south. So the windows that are facing west have directed light sprawling in onto the floors. And I want to be clear, that's also not going to be sunlight that's going to occur anyway. The state is surrounding into every open space light through those methods of filling those venues. Filling the venue with directed light, and it's absolutely impossible light activity. By the way, it's also impossible light activity where the sun is in the sky space. Trajectory of sunlight is downward, and it is not bending over, reaching horizontally, spreading across floors and surfaces like that. That's not sunlight. All right. And also, you're talking about what is, again, the blatant documentation of remaining over my head in another city, okay, for the duration of a day. So for example, let's not even say 630 North Fern, which you saw on January 1st, 2022. When I'm at the Ovid Family Community Library, how is that going to be directed light coming through the windows that are facing west at Sierra Avenue at the Fontana Lewis Library, and you are looking at the literal object itself that remains over the 280 North Lemon Apartments? Okay, and you were talking about what is the state. You know what the pattern of stalking with a fake sun is. I show you when I enter the Ovid Family Community Library, the fake sun that's at the back of the library, moments after I enter the front of the library. That's exactly what the state is doing. It's directed light. These are psychopaths sitting around engaging in surveillance, being demons, like I stated on the video, making noise the moment I make any move. Making noise in directed light is the demonic formula. They are engaged in stalking and surveillance, and that's terrorism while demons sit around doing that all day on behalf of the government. Okay, doing so under the fake sun, which is in the city of Fontana, over the very precise parking lot as I exit. Remember, the state puts it right back over the building as I enter the building. That is directed light, which is another method of stalking with light. It is separate from what is the state's fake sun. And you know this also because I've been on the side of a building and in the shade, all right, and you're looking at what is a directed light that appears manifesting in the shade. The state is aiming light in all manner of directions. This is demonic, okay? And these are demons who surround, tracking my every move, just like you see as I'm walking back from the field area where the state is covering those grounds with directed light, and I am walking back toward the front entrance. So this is what I capture on video. This is 3:40 p.m. And like I stated also, you have what is 2:47 p.m. in the city of Ontario over the Motel 6. That was just days ago. Don't forget that. That's just one example. The ongoing pattern of remaining over the 280 North Lemon Apartments and then acting like the sun is setting during this hour around 3 o'clock. That's what the state is doing, illuminating the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, which is clearly not sunlight, clearly not the sun, but that's the pattern. That's what the state is doing. And why? Because at that time on that day, that's where I'm at. That does not coexist with being anywhere over the Fontana Lewis Library, the Fontana Lewis Library parking lot, aiming light through Sierra Avenue through those windows at the front of the library, aiming light through the windows that are facing Arrow Boulevard, which is not sunlight that's going to occur where the sun is above a building. Okay? It's going to be shaded. All right, this is common sense. This is what I captured on video, and this is the absolute psychopath as you're witnessing him in their raw form, engaging in what is also, by virtue of that documentation, you're understanding what is a sex offender. Surveillance is ongoing inside of the bathroom while I'm in that, and these demons are sitting around focused on me. That's why you're able to, first of all, stalk with audible activity, with simultaneity to what I'm doing, even that which is inaudible to the human ear, such as operation of my communication device. Okay, these are demons. All right, this is demonic activity made manifest, and it's criminal conduct amongst the demon-possessed, and they're all present on behalf of the government in what is a facilitating venue that has that which is not the sun remaining over me, okay, and directed light surrounding me, which is terrorism. All right, and also these terrorists are engaging in surveillance in a bathroom. That is the sex offender. Like I said, it is currently 3:55 p.m. And what I also showed the next video is what is the method of amplified audible activity. You have what is a demon using what is their job. That's called facilitation. It is the same way with regard to any mail delivery person who is engaging in the pattern of conduct, and it's a demon wearing a uniform representing some company where nothing but the P.O.C. is underway. So you have what is a demon that goes into the bathroom, flushing the toilets, which is amplified audible activity, and engineered light with simultaneity to that reasonably foreseeable act that I'm going to do, which is uploading the videos that I just documented. All right, that is the simultaneity of conduct, and I captured that on video, and that's why you're looking at what is a sprawling line of directed light. Okay, you're talking about what is direct evidence of being a psychopath, of being a demon, of being a criminal engaging in interstate stalking. All of that is what is revealed. All right, it is currently 3:56 p.m. And this is the P.O.C. I also want to document molestation while I'm sitting at computer FONPL02. You have what is molesting me with directed light, which was coming from the back. You see what the back of the computer lab looks like. The state was aiming directed light on me, and it was doing so while I was uploading my videos onto YouTube, which is a timestamp created on the venue of the internet where I'm publishing my documentation. While I was doing that and reviewing the very damning directed light that's inside the car, where the state is following me from Ontario to, 621 North Fern to the Ontario Village to the B&G Plaza until I get on the bus. And my last video is captured at what is 1850 East Holt Boulevard, which is the Circle K at the intersection of Vineyard and Holt, where I'm uploading this documentation. The state is molesting me with directed light from behind. All right. Also, the state engaging in stalking with audible activity, not just by these demons, but at the very desk I'm sitting at. There is absolutely nothing that will create noise, but the state is doing that and also doing, which is terrorism. So you need to understand the inexplicable conduct with light, the inexplicable conduct with audible activity. This is really, it's demonic, and it's entirely demented. Demons and demonic activity is what the ordinary person would describe as very weird, all right? It's very creepy. And it's that which, for example, the Fontana Police Department do not want you to know about them. Okay, they're demons who are monitoring me while this directed light surrounds inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. Those demons are circulating around, monitoring with the demons who are stalking and surveilling in the parking lot, just like I showed you on video. All right, monitoring and surveilling with these demons who are inside of the computer lab. All right, so it is currently right now 3:58 p.m. That's operation of a communication device and audible activity in what is directed light. All right, the ongoing demented conduct by who are none other than demented actors, and understand that demon possession, which is inspiring this criminal system on behalf of the government, is the very revealing of what is terrorism by a public entity, and the entity is comprised of the people of the state of California who are demented and engaging in surveillance and sexual violence while they're engaged in an obsessive pattern of stalking, not just physically as a group, but audibly with noise in what is engineered light, with which they also like to touch and surround with. Okay, it is currently 3:58 p.m. and that is the P.O.C. That's the state stalking by helicopter while I'm sitting outside of the Fontana Lewis Library. And demons are patrolling in and out of the exit in directed light. This is P.O.C. It's 6:58 p.m. All right, the African-American female is crossing path in directed light, and her little minionite child is carrying the communication device. They are crossing path together. That's the people in the state, while the state is flying over the Fontana Lewis Library and amplifying helicopter activity, which is continuing at 6:59 p.m. This is indicative of the ongoing terrorism at Fontana Lewis Library. Turning off the lights inside of the library computer lab as a means of stalking with activity. That's terrorism. 6:59 p.m. while you're surrounded by demons who are stalking you, and then turning off the lights so that you're in the dark inside of a computer lab. It's a public establishment. And the state is flying over by helicopter right now. I just want to be clear. That's ongoing terrorism at Fontana Lewis Library. All right, what you see at 7 p.m., I just took a still image of what is a group stalker that's crossing path in directed light, and you see my hand, I'm holding it up. My one hand has two shadows. This is being molested with directed light while the state is stalking by helicopter, and the people are stalking, patrolling in and out of the exit. These are demons, and that's ongoing terrorism. It's 7:01 p.m., and that demon carrying a luggage carrier, wearing the white jacket, enters into the front entrance on surveillance cameras as well. This is P.O.C. (7:04 p.m.) That's audible activity. That's the state, and directed light stalking. Demons engage in the identical behavior in Ontario in the same environment. That's a state system. 7:05 p.m. That is helicopter to plane engines to sirens. Those are the hallmarks, by the way. That's P.O.C. What I took images of so that you understand what the entity is doing. It's creating audible activity and engineered light while molesting. That's the stalker that is touching with engineered light, and that's going to be the prosecution of that terrorist, the state of California. And that's identifying the state acting directly, by the way, by sirens, helicopter, and plane engines while I'm being molested with directed light. And I took images of what is this table I'm sitting at that has the umbrella stand. It's got two shadows going in both directions. I took a picture of my water bottle. It's got two shadows going in both directions, just like my hand having my one hand having two shadows. That's directed light while the state is deliberately stalking using audible activity. That is criminal facilitation, by the way, of federal group stalking and monitoring amongst the demon possessed who surround in relevant position, who are marching in and out of the entrance. They are demons just engaging in stalking altogether. All right, and this is indicative of what Fontana Lewis Library has been engaged in all day long, by the way. It is 7:07 p.m. Alrighty, I did capture images of those engaging in surveillance standing inside of a computer lab. This is the female with the beanie on and a striped sweater. She's standing at the exit while I'm sitting at the entrance. I did take her picture while that's literally a demon who is standing there stalking, maintaining presence in the path. 7XRE899, and the white male who is sitting beside me while the state's sounding sirens, helicopter activity, plane activity while I'm being molested with directed light. That is stalking. 8SUN673, 7UIR929, 7LLK672. It's currently 7:14 p.m. 7TIW127, 58712D2, 8EGF082, 7FFW134, 4ERK044, 6CSG143. All right, sitting in front of the fire station, the John Roberts fire station, with headlights pointed toward the parking lot. And this demon that comes across path, license plate, Falcon Fast Freight LLC, license PZN M33. That's a Florida plate on that vehicle. Looks like the San Bernardino County Sheriff crossing path. And this is 8RAR015. And that's concerted activity while the sheriff crosses path. And this demon is sitting in the vehicle in front, not even in a spot. She's stalking with light toward the parking lot that I usually walk through. She's aiming light toward me while the sheriff's department crosses path on Arrow Boulevard. Again, that's license 8RAR015. That appears to be a white female with a red beanie on her head. She's monitoring with law enforcement, and she is stalking with light. That's the demonic behavioral pattern. All right, doing so with headlights. It's analogous to using their flashers. Sitting in front of the fire station, just positioning. That's positioning, and doing so with lights on while that Falcon Freight LLC crosses path as I walk down that street. And it is a simultaneous kind of concerted activity while the sheriff crosses path on Arrow Boulevard. Falcon Freight LLC is loitering at Lerner and Sierra, just sitting at the driveway, doing the same, just surrounding the perimeter with light. That's the one with the Florida license plate. I took more than one picture because there's no traffic obstructing them. They're stalking in the path, maintaining light on Lerner. That's what they're doing. License plate. This is terrorism by the people, as you are recognizing the patterns that they engage in. Stalking with light, absolutely demented, right? And it's terrorism as a group, as a government does that. BF77A70 is a paper plate on this vehicle in the parking lot of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce. And they're doing the same thing at the City Bank, just parking in front of the bank, which is relevant positioning. Getting out and going to the ATM is no forum for demons monitoring with the government. And I am being molested with directed light. Doing the same thing on what is the opposite side of the street, the back street behind Citibank. So when I'm speaking behind, I mean in front is Sierra and behind is a back street. There are demons lined up on that street with their headlights toward the parking lot that I'm walking in. American Medical Response is crossing paths, so that's monitoring with the demon parked in front of the fire station, monitoring with the demon of Falcon Freight that's at the Lerner intersection with their lights on, and with the demons that's at Citibank in the parking lot and the demons on the back street behind the Citibank. That's surrounding the perimeter with light. License 5NQG787, I believe, 6GPF256, 7ZCE062, and these are demons that are crossing path. All right, and in the aggregate, altogether, it's the entity crossing path over and over and over again. As far as demonic activity, this is pacing. They're one entity. They're stalking all together. They're just pacing repeatedly. Absolute psychopaths. As far as the government's pattern of conduct, because that's what this is, you're talking about the state that is crossing path. That is stalking via the people. And it's currently, by the way, 7:19 p.m. License plate 6UVE781, 8DHH796. Oh, that's kind of open that one. And these are also predators who are waiting to touch with light at the red light. They're stalking. License 8EXV112 at the red light of Arrow Boulevard and Sierra Avenue at 7:19 p.m. DH8, yeah, I read that one. 8TVJ 379, 7KUZ 482. Falcon Freight US.3342524 then drives out of the driveway and is driving back onto Arrow Boulevard, driving around me. Okay, that's patrolling. And they're maintaining relevant positioning in doing so. License plate 8AAG632, 8TJJ392, 8ROW989, 7SXF148, 1407457, 1492505, 8UQC780, 8RWK541, 7YRV745, 8YHT260, 19382Y2. Let's see. 8MKW263, 7MGM121, I believe. And these license plates 8EQA227, 8VCG166, 7AYR. I can't see the rest of it. You could scratch that one. 8VSA 836, but I can't really see that clearly. It's currently 7:21. I'm at the intersection of Sierra Avenue and Arrow Boulevard, and that's called amplification, which you cannot hear the train, let alone that volume. That's P.O.C, and they're all stalking and molesting together, and that includes MetroLink as a sex offender. While you're creating audible activity while the government is touching me, you are sexually violating as well. It's just like engaging in an orgy while you're touching, and you're adding in a soundtrack to that 7KAF984. It's accomplishing monitoring, criminal on behalf of the government. MetroLink creating light activity with the sound of the train, which is amplified, which you cannot hear at this distance. But they are indeed using the light activity of the train tracks for MetroLink. That's facilitation. So they are creating audible activity and light activity while I am being molested at Arrow and Sierra with directed light. License plate. DT154, and that's a handicap, into the parking lot of Citibank. Which, let me get this license plate over here as well. They go into the drive-thru. They're on surveillance camera right now at 7:22 p.m. Oh no, they stop right in front of the drive-thru over the parking spaces to maintain positioning. The demon that's at the ATM is on camera, and this license plate is 7NHK068. Molesting with DT154 handicap. And let me be clear, 7HNK068 documents herself while she does that. It is 7:23 p.m. That's amplification. Louder than it actually is in order to monitor me. That is terrorism by Metrolink. ALR752, that's a Nevada plate. Parked right here at Sierra in front of Bella Bridal on Sierra Avenue. $8DLR084. $7TIX279. Making a U-turn, that's a demon pacing. License 8HDS433 and making a U-turn 8SVD811. $7XQL905. 75653P1, 6TBG496, 8WMG081, 8FCY499, 20641S2, 8SLX628, 1104M handicap, 7UHD349, 7ZGL600, 8MAF093, 7WSA444, 8WMG717, 8BYK434, 8RVW282, 6UZK396, 22159D3, 8VBJ747, 8RYW526, 7UDX966, 6DRM876, Mercedes-Benz of Ontario, courtesy car, license plate CA51H36, that's a paper plate, 6XHD097, 8PPH655, 7FXJ308, 7HWH423, 8PPH655, AC89L06 paper, 5VFJ471, 7NXR, can't see the rest of that one, 265UR handicap, 1597066 Fontana PD, 6ZET, can't see that one, 7PI, and I can't see that one either. All right, that is 7KIT654, and it's 7:26 p.m. And those demons are including the demons of the Fontana Police Department, are crossing paths driving north on Sierra Avenue. I am at the intersection of Valencia and Sierra. License 8FDL 389, 8RYH506, 7W92846, 8FNN709. It's 727 still. That's audible activity while demons drive in light that's created by the demons that are stopped at the red light right here. That's the ongoing concerted activity. Loud vehicle is audible activity. IMAWLIN. License plate 6URW016, 8HQC118, 8JZG592, G37300, BU90T20 paper, 8R, I can't do that, 7ZXR378, I believe. License plate 8UQZ138, 7NOD086, 7WEK934. See 8ERE604, 6ETR173. 5ZBA 180, 7CPL 579, 7V76070, 7SVB019 at 7:29 p.m. 8TPT615, 7LZM114, 8WLD622, 8JJS309, 6HKJ636, 7FRA363, 6SQT267, 88838. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. License 7HWB, or you can scratch that. I can't see that. 8BLE600, 7SFS666, I believe. 8SJB532, 7CWK252, 7W96452. I can't see that one. 8THT076, 4GUX012, 7EGT365, it's 7:31 p.m. License plate 8VCG166, using the traffic lights strategically for molestation as I arrive at the corner. 8YLS689, part of the same molestation. Demons at the Fontana Metrolink train station at the corner with their hazards on. That's called light activity, and it's absolutely demonic. This is what demons do everywhere. Stalking with light activity, flashing their lights. And understand they're flashing lights in what is engineered light. It's a light enhancement tactic. It's demonic. Also, this is a demonic impulse that they engage in together. And it is also conducive to what is monitoring with communication devices, where light is key to that. See, dang it! Try to get that license plate. I can't see it. Can't see that one. It is currently, by the way, 7:32 p.m. And the demon that has their hazards on, the demons that are on the grounds of the Fontana Metrolink train station are monitoring to that. So they're just standing around monitoring on their communication devices, employees alike. They're demons affiliated with Omnitrans. Doesn't matter what their job is. It does with regard to the company that's going to be prosecuted and identifying as engaging in that conduct amongst American citizens, to American citizens, but they're demons, all of them. Omnitrans with the hazards on as well. 1545817. And this demon over here on the side of the Fontana Metrolink train station, engaging in the P.O.C. with Omnitrans, adding to light. I'll get that license plate right now. All right, I did capture images of them. They're just chilling at the bus stop where the buses park with hazards on. 8 TPF 774. 8 TPF 774. In front of the bus stall for Route 82, bus stop number 8822. They're adding to light activity. They're doing exactly what Omnitrans does. They just don't have an Omnitrans logo on them. And Omnitrans doesn't have any form doing that either. This is the P.O.C. License 1370393, bus number 1322. And it's 7:34 p.m. And I did capture images of those. It looks like a group of African-American males, and you have another female who's there. She tried to cover up the license plate. I read it before she lifted up the trunk. They're just sitting there at the bus stop with the hazards on. So what Route 66 is, what bus, the license plate that I read beginning with 13, and what the third party whose images I took, they're creating a barrier of light, all of them with their hazards on. That's the ongoing objective. And it's 7:35 p.m. All right, stalking with activity. Omnitrans bus 1315 with license 1479380. It's parking on the side of the train station with hazards on, arriving with simultaneity to my movement toward the trash can. And I took an image of the African-American employee. He's in operation of a communication device, indirected light, monitoring to that activity created with simultaneity to what I'm doing, also exiting the bathroom, which is a means of crossing path, loitering in relevant position behind that bathroom door that is closed. All right, coming out and closing it is the creation of audible activity while Omnitrans approaches with that bus whose license plate I just recited as I get up to walk to the trash can. So that is as I engage in new movement. All right, that's demonic activity, and they're monitoring with communication devices. It's 7:37 p.m. 1527171. Again, that's 1527171. That's Omnitrans. It's an Omni access bus crossing path. The bus, as far as the elements go, I took a picture of what is Route 66. They're molesting with light. They turn on those headlights with simultaneity to my movement. So they have the headlights off. They turn them on as the method of stalking with activity while they're also molesting. All right. So this is documentation of the sex offender engaging in the demonic habit of molesting while they are stalking and tending to monitor with communication devices. And that's Route 66. The speaker on that bus is audible activity while they are molesting with light and what is directed light as well. All right. Omni access is crossing path at 7:42 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, this demon that's sitting at the in the driver's seat of Route 66 is sitting still with hazards on and molesting with directed light, and uses the bus, the front of the bus that drops down. It beeps when it does that. They use that as a means of stalking with audible activity while they remain parked. Nobody is getting on or off of the bus. This demon is just sitting on the bus, stalking. This is the demon, okay? Stalking, and doing so, just creating activity, while they're just sitting there watching and listening to me. That's a demon using the functions of the bus to stalk and molest with audible and light activity. And now they're pulling off. License. Oh, I read their license plate already, but I will read it again. This is bus 2347. Pulling off at 7:45 p.m. and I'm on the camera. You can see them molesting me. I'll use their cameras to prosecute them as well. Every minion on that bus is monitoring. License 1545817. It's 7:45 p.m. All right, Route 67, bus 1332 at 7:46 p.m. Crossing path. Audible activity. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 shadows. 1404990. 1399978. This is a bus that pulls up to the bus stall for Route 61, but reveals no signage on the bus indicating it's a Route 61 bus. So you have what is a minion driving the bus that says out of service and lets minions off the bus, which is engagement in the criminal elements of monitoring, by the way, and then pulling off from Route 61. It is currently 7:57 p.m. 8 p.m. crossing path. All of them engaged in surveillance. License plate 1535424, bus 1341, crossing path. And I took a still image. You look at the surveillance of the people of the state, these demons that engage in the stalking. This one is loitering at the behind me at third-party facilitating venue, Village at Sierra, on the side of the street, on the opposite side of the street, and on the sidewalk, against the sidewalk, aiming their headlights. All right, that is maintenance of light in the path toward me in relevant position. All right, Omnitrans is not doing anything different, by the way. They're just wearing uniforms. They have logos on the vehicles. They are engaging in the same demonic activity in the same exact environment. All right. And the people of the state who are not in commercial vehicles are engaged in that same joint endeavor of stalking with light and maintaining presence in the path and crossing paths ritualistically. Okay. It is 8:01 p.m. Metrolink engaging the P.O.C. at 8:03 p.m., creating audible activity and crossing path. And the minions on that train are also monitoring as well and crossing path. Metrolink is going what is eastbound from the Fontana Metrolink train station at 8:03 p.m. All right, crossing path, Route 82, Sierra Lake, bus 1364. License plate 1535754. At 8:06 p.m. Again, they're not only crossing path while they are driving past me. Understand, Omnitrans is creating a chain of light. You have the buses on the opposite side who are stalking in the path. That's why I am being molested with directed light. You are stalking. And there is no hiding behind any logo. There's a prosecution of that logo. And I will read these that are loitering in relevant position, creating a chain of light. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shadows. All right, license plate. This is Omnitrans. Bus 1322, license 1370393. License 1420030. Bus 1285. License 1370395. Says out of service at the bus stall for, this is bus number 1324, and it is at the bus stall for Route 82, and it says out of service. It's sitting here in relevant position, creating light activity via hazards. Okay, so you have what is, as I showed you, the image of the group stalker that was sitting behind me, loitering in relevant position, that is, using their headlights, pointing light toward me. Understand that's the same intersection where I have captured what are my 4 shadows in front of me. That's that same corner, Village at Sierra, creating light activity with a flickering light at the front. At that corner, they are stalking in the path in what is directed light, and that's what I'm taking images. That's what I took an image of. Understand where they are. There's directed light over there, and I documented that. All right, well, I have multiple shadows, and Village at Sierra is creating light activity via flickering light on that property. That's where that demon was sitting in their SUV in relevant position behind me. All right, and they're monitoring with Omnitrans, who's creating a chain of light activity, and it's currently 8:08 p.m. License 1535619, bus 1360. Again, that's 1535619. That is driven by an African-American male, heavy set, employee number 3510, monitoring with the people of the state, monitoring with the Ontario Police Department, who did at the Ontario Airport at approximately 9:07 p.m., using their police vehicle lights while they're stalking in the path. This was criminal facilitation while the people of the state, including that employee number 3510, stalking and monitoring with communication devices with the entity. The state, as I've already shown, as is the pattern of conduct, maintaining directed light on the bus, and the people just patrolling on and off and maintaining surveillance on the bus all around me, including the people of the state who are on the roads and the highways and vehicles maintaining crossing and path. That is the same exact pattern of conduct while I'm subject to it on the Omnitrans bus, and I have just arrived at what is Lemon and Holt Boulevard, and it is currently 9:23 p.m. And this is the state also engaging in crossing path via helicopter. while I'm both on the bus and as I arrive, and you hear the bus taking off. It's, again, 9:24 p.m. That's P.O.C. Ontario Fire Department crossing path on traffic cameras at Plum and Holt, while the state, and I'm being molested with directed light, and the state is also stalking via helicopter. Monitoring with the state, with the fire department, and with the state via helicopter, 7SCK 841 on traffic cameras at Plum and Holt right now. Alrighty, that's right over Andy's Burgers, P.O.C. Okay, I did take images of the state stalking via helicopter, and again, I'm being molested with directed light. That's the state, nonetheless. All right, nothing else but that. Stalking via helicopter also, that's a hallmark at Fontana Lewis Library, the helicopter activity. Walking at B&G Plaza, helicopter activity. 6SHF, 1, I can't see that one. 8Z, oh, I can't see that one either, hold on. 7RED 914. And again, helicopter activity on an ongoing basis. That's the state's pattern of conduct. This is terrorism. All right. The street poles on the street have 2 shadows. I have 5 shadows all around me. All right. The entity is doing nothing but stalking and engaging in literally helping you understand how you're going to prosecute a government for nothing other than what is a psychopath conduct. Serving no legitimate purpose. And then let me be clear, that's a demon-possessed government actor flying a helicopter, stalking with UPS, who was crossing path. UPS also stalking this morning in a commercial airline plane that was hovering over the B&G Plaza under the fake sun, which is in the direct opposite location than it was at the address of 630 North Fern, as I showed you on January 1st, 2022. Tracy Banks is monitoring with the helicopter activity that you hear. That's her honking her horn too with her flashes on. It's 9:29 p.m. 7XLJ 536 at Shiro's Liquor with the helicopter following. 7JBH 182. I took another picture of the states flying over the B&G Plaza as I'm at the Shiro's Liquor by helicopter. That's what I took a picture of right now at 9:31 p.m. 8ULD 332. They are monitoring with the state that's flying over and stalking me in a helicopter right now. Alrighty. And by the way, UPS was crossing path on Sultana, driving onto Holt, going eastbound. American Medical Response. Stalking in the path, creating light activity at D Street and Euclid Avenue, 9:33 a.m. The same exact thing they were doing in Fontana in the same exact environment. Okay, it's demonic. It was literally helicopter and sirens. Remember that? 7ERR072 was stalking with the state. CA30K40 paper. 74067X2, 7WKN545, 7NMJ905. Sit around stalking and monitoring, using their vehicles as light activity, and monitoring to that facilitating conduct by American Medical Response, 7DIV320. 8BQJ330. It's 9:34 p.m. American Medical Response was coming from the southbound side of Euclid Avenue and then turns onto what was D Street at the Gloria Cochinas, right there at the corner, stalking in the path, creating light activity. It is, again, 9:34 p.m. P.O.C. Ontario PD crossing path on Fern Avenue as we arrive, parking in front of 630 North Fern. They come from G Street, turning south onto Fern Avenue. That is the stalking conduct by a demon driving an Ontario Police Department vehicle with knowledge of who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing, which is uploading my podcast. And that is the terrorism by such demon-possessed actors as the Ontario Police Department. 9:36 p.m. Engaging in that visible form of stalking where you are documenting that and you're talking about doing so having engaged in a pattern of kidnapping. That is speaking to what is the federal imprisonment of Ontario police. It's 9:36 p.m. All right, it is 9:40 p.m. The demons of the Ontario Police Department, again, intentionally following to where they know exactly where I am sleeping, which is in a car. And this is also indicated by the ongoing stalking conduct by the state via planes and helicopter and directed light, including the fake sun during the day. All of these are indicators of what is blatant stalking. And so, again, I want to reiterate, first of all, Tracy Banks is in the car in relevant position. She is monitoring and terrorizing and molesting in the same way that every other demon who I identify by license plate, image, or logo. Acting in concert with the state, who was flying over me by helicopter as I'm at the intersection of Plum and Holt, following to what is the Shiro's Liquor, which is what I take pictures of. And while the state is aiming directed light inside of the vehicle right now at 9:41 p.m., as the demon possessed, that are the people of the state, are driving by. Okay, the same conduct that they are doing on a ceaseless basis, and that is the terrorism that the Ontario Police Department are engaging in, crossing paths in the exact same manner. While directed light is present, that is the hallmark, and it is the identification of what is a demon that is engaging in what is stalking and doing so on behalf of the state. Ontario Police acting directly, and the people of the state, demon possessed, including Tracy Banks, are third parties acting vicariously. It's 9:42 p.m. The state engages in that ongoing P.O.C. on a ceaseless basis. That is the pattern of conduct. It's 9:42. All right, 10:04 p.m. Documenting what is the state following via helicopter to what is 630 North Front, where I'm located. And the state flies over by helicopter, which I captured images of, flying what is flying west over Fern Avenue and circling around. I took pictures of that while I'm standing outside of the vehicle. The state has been flying in circles, all right, doing so at a distance. And so I waited until the state flew over so you can see images of that. That is the state flying over, and those pictures that I took right now at 10:03 p.m. And let's be clear with regard to the documentation. The state stalking via helicopter at the Fontana Lewis Library, following to what is Ontario, stalking via helicopter as I take images of at the intersection of Plum and Holt, flying over Andy's Burgers, flying again, following me to Shiro's Liquor, flying over that venue, which I take pictures of. And as I'm at the 630 North Fern, outside in the vehicle where this entity is stalking me where I sleep, all right, and aiming directed light inside of the vehicle, and doing so by crossing path by the Ontario Police Department and flying over by helicopter. That is the entity following from where I get up in the morning, where they are stalking, to wherever it is that I go to the bathroom, where they are stalking, to wherever it is I remain for the day. The entity is stalking and following back to the place where I sleep. That is following to and from. That is impossible audible activity attributed to Union Pacific while the state is stalking by helicopter. Understanding the deliberate conduct with that while directed light is present. That's the deliberate criminal conduct. That is terrorism by Union Pacific, which you cannot hear at this location. You also cannot hear it at that volume. You can't hear it at all. That is also the knowledge of what is the ongoing audible activity creation and engineered light. Also, where the state is stalking by a helicopter pursuant to what is an ongoing pattern of conduct, you're understanding what is the deliberate environment that you are surrounded by, and that includes train activity provided by third-party group stalker Union Pacific, which again you cannot hear at 630 North Fern at the intersection of G and Fern. All right, this demon crossing path, 8VJB 571. Monitoring with the Ontario Police Department, monitoring with the state stalking via helicopter, monitoring with Union Pacific, all right, representing the people of the state while they engage in that very stalking activity, just like the Ontario Police Department did. The state is aiming directed light and keeping directed light inside of this vehicle all night long. All right, it is 10:06 p.m. P.O.C. And that is the stalker, sounding helicopter activity, following to where this entity knows that I'm sleeping. Just like I captured in images, remaining with a helicopter and demons crossing path, aiming directed light inside of the car. This is documentation of what is terrorism. It's 10:08 p.m. Yes, indeedy, that is ongoing helicopter activity. That is the obsessed, demon-possessed stalker that is the state of California. Let me be clear. This obsession, this stalking by the government, it is born of demon possession, all right? And that is why the government's going to be prosecuted as the terrorist that it is under the demon oppression, engaging in terrorizing an American citizen, and I am documenting that while that obsessive stalking is underway. And that is why the state is following from city to city, from place to place, in something as incredible as a helicopter. Let me be clear, that is a dangerous psychopath, a dangerous to the public, having no business in the position of government, and that is also the grounds for what is federal prison. Let me reiterate, as Ontario Police engages in conspicuous stalking, that is the grounds of federal prison. That is what is the impermissible threat, all right? The impermissible threat is communicated by virtue of that conduct in that position of government, in that position of law enforcement, and it is also the demonstration of demon possession. And that's exactly what is wrong with this government actor that is stalking me in a helicopter. All right, let me be clear. Their condition is demon possession. And that is why that stalking, which is born of an obsession, stalking conduct is born of an obsession. For the government to engage in that, it is terrorism. That is why that demon-possessed stalker is in a helicopter circling around me and remaining and following where I go. Just want to make sure I point that out. It's 10:10 p.m. and that is P.O.C.